Thanks for doing this interview. So this is Zach Gallagher. He's in New York. What are you doing in New York?
I'm here with my girlfriend. Decided to do a trip together and
Yeah.
chose that New York destination. It's super easy. It's a super nice place. I've only been once and she's never been. So.
Yeah. And then what are you doing right now, like in your life? Where are you working and what's Kendama related? Like what's up the last few months?
Yeah, so I graduated in June
Yeah.
from UW, University of Washington, and then since then I'm still kind of in this transitionary period where I'm like figuring out like stuff I like want to do.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm working at Whole Foods,
Okay.
which is nice because I shop there. I used to
Yeah.
shop there regularly anyways, and I
Yeah.
have a discount, which is great.
Yeah.
And then I work at an ice cream shop, and you may have seen me post videos
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
called Stilt in Seattle. So I used to do that, and then having those two jobs kind of make it almost like a full-time job. So
Yeah.
and hours-wise, so it's
Okay.
nice. And then just do that, and then play Kendama mostly every day.
Okay.
Yeah. Days I don't is probably when I work at Whole Foods because those shifts are like super long, and then when I only get home at like 10 p.m. and
Yeah.
I'm pretty much done.
Do you have a day off?
I used to be working 6 days a week.
Okay.
Since when I got the second job, I mean now I have like and then on the day off I would see my girlfriend, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
have like a full day to myself, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, no. Recently I took one day off, so now I have like 2 days,
Okay.
which is nice.
And that's when do you fit in Kendama?
So yeah, for
Do you fit in Kendama?
yeah,
You're so- yeah.
oh yeah, yes for sure,
Yes.
yeah. I usually fit it in like every day before work.
Okay.
Definitely. I usually work at nights, so
Yeah.
I can't play afterwards because then it's like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I wanted to sleep. But like yeah, I fit it in like every day beforehand. I mean right now it's 28 chicks later, and I'll just fit it in before like during the day every day. And then on my days off, I for sure like try and like play like a couple hours, like 2 hours. So I feel like right now I'm playing. My time frame of playing is like 1 hour or a little over an hour every day. And that's kind of how mostly I've always been throughout college too. I always try to play like an hour a day.
Okay.
And I find that I still can improve with that time length, but like when I'm playing an hour, like I wouldn't say that that's like the optimal time for me. I mean, I feel like after an hour sometimes I feel like after 45 minutes, like I feel like I've just like warmed up.
Yeah.
And then I'm like really honed. Then I'm like, well shit, I'm doing something in this like it's really short amount of time from now. I can't really like fully exhaust this like honage to its full potential. You know, like so I mean, when days off, I try and play definitely 1 hour. I think 2 hours is a good time.
Okay.
So actually on Saturdays I play for like 4 hours because of the UW Kendama jams.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. So on Saturdays I play for like 4 hours, like
Yeah.
and then which is really nice. But at some point it's just like I feel like some point when I'm playing for so long, like my Kendama kind of for me kind of goes like this. I'm going up and up and up, getting warmed up, and then I hit this point where I'm like super on. And when I'm playing for a long time, then it kind of just goes like this. Not like dramatically, but like I feel like if I'm like playing for a ton of time, then I'm just kind of then I'm like that. Well, that's at least how it is when I'm filming a trick.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
How long do you think it gets to your peak? An hour?
It kind of depends. I mean, yeah, I would say like sometimes less than an hour. Sometimes I'll just go out and feeling it, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes go out and feeling it. So it just doesn't. So sometimes it takes like I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But then it's like some days I'm like playing and like, damn, this is a bad sesh.
Yeah.
And then I'll be playing and playing. I'm like, oh, I'm getting better. I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm honed. Like, you know, but and then yeah. So I mean, it can be like 10 minutes, but like if I'm feeling at home. But some days it can just vary because some days I just don't feel as good. And it's just gonna happen to everybody, you know.
So what's your process when you get to the sesh? Like whether it's I guess like more for by yourself when you have that hour before work or 2 hours before work. Do you have like a really specific schedule of what you're gonna do, or do you just like kind of play around with whatever?
Yeah, I've actually been asked this question a couple times recently by people at the jams and stuff, and even by one of my best friends and roommate. So when I sesh, I literally just do lines until that are totally improvised until I miss.
Okay.
I don't plan anything. Like I literally my entire sesh is like a freestyle. And sometimes when I sesh, like I'll try and work on a trick, but like sometimes when I'm just like, and this is how it's been a lot recently, if where like I'll only have like an hour and stuff, and like I just kind of just want to have like fun, so I'll just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And naturally I'll be doing tricks that are like I'm like already like at least like relatively proficient in.
Yeah.
I'm not really gonna try anything like super new to me. But then like sometimes I'll hit some inspiration where I'm like, where I like try something and like almost get it. That's really new to me. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll grind this out for a bit, just try and learn some combos. But yeah, it's for me. It's just like I'll literally keep going until like I stop, until I just miss. I don't really have an end goal. Like sometimes like, and the best parts about doing that is sometimes I'll just hit a line that's so like, can we swear on this?
Yeah.
That it's just like actually fucked. Like it's actually fucked up. Like that would post immediately. Immediately. Like no question. I did this. This is an amazing example. I'd love to inject this right here. And I don't like think this is bragging at all. I'm just telling you guys what happened. I hit
history.
No. This is actually this is one of the hardest tricks I've ever hit. I just did it like first try to jam. I was just like doing random stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like I hit this. Oh, I'll do this. Oh damn. I had 5-tap jug still.
Okay, let me think about this. 5-tap jug still. Okay. Yeah. I mean it's a banger, but for you I can imagine like
still. That's the first part of like the 4-part line. Quint still foot.
Okay.
I'm like, damn. I'm like,
you got it.
And then I get Quint still. I'm like, damn. To make this, I'll need one more thing to make this symmetrical. Quint tap, jug still.
You're gonna spike. You go back.
I go in. I'm like, dude.
Yes.
Flip out back to still. Quint still flip in.
No way.
Yes. You know what I did after that, Isaac? I was like, first of all, after freaking the hell out, I was like, oh my god, like that's insane. I'm like, I did it at the jam too, so people were watching.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, I need to call Nick. I need to tell somebody that. I need to tell Nick. I mean, Nick loves Stilt, so I was like, dude, Nick. I said Nick Gallagher line. He's like 5, 5, 5, 5. Like, dude, that's crazy. So and that's just one example.
What did he say?
Oh, he was hyped. He's blown away. That's he respects that trick. I mean, it's sick. So like, dude, it was that was great. And that's just one example too. And it's not like that'll happen every sesh. You know, when I'm hitting something with like that caliber or that like where I'm like, woo, you know, those are the best times where I'm like going and I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah. And then I'll just hit something crazy. Like,
It's really interesting that you do that because I think most Kendama players, I guess once you get to a certain peak, like once you're able to kind of flow in and out of like Ken grip and Sarah grip or Tama grip, then you kind of just start like I don't know. I kind of wanted to stop doing that because I feel like for a whole hour I'm just doing stuff that I already know. Mm-hmm. But do you feel like that? Like maybe I shouldn't be doing this? But then again, it feels good. It's fun, right? Like I can do that for hours and it's fine. But have you ever been like, oh, I want to just only like think about your sesh?
Yeah, no, totally. I have, and then recently, when I was not super recently, but I guess it's kind of happening to me again. But so in summer, I was reaching this point of like where I was like when I would play and I'd be like, you know, I was doing tricks I already like good at and stuff. Yeah. And I literally was like, I'm kind of like legitimately getting bored. Yeah. And I was like, okay, Zach, you kind of just need to throw something new in there. This is not working for you. Like, so I'd go out and play for an hour and I'd be like, did I just have fun? Or was that just kind of just like me playing to play and I just doing tricks I already know to do? Like, and so that's when I got into like balance tricks, like border balances. I used to suck at those. Okay. And then now like I've been able to do balance tricks that I've never thought I'd ever be able to do. So yeah, and like recently in sessions I've always throw in stuff like variations of if it's tricks I'm already good at, like I'll do throw in variations of that trick that I'm not good at. Yeah. And so for a bit that was like still barrel rolls and now I've gotten like pretty good at those. Yeah. And so like just stuff like that, not like completely different. But yeah, I mean I think for me now, like in summer, like the balance trick thing, that was like basically completely new to me. Okay. Like, it wasn't like I was like I mean I could border balance and stuff, like for sure, but that was basically it. Like I could do border flips, but it wasn't like I wasn't confident with them. Okay. But now I've definitely increased my level in those like by a lot. Okay. I mean for those things like a good setup for it too, you know. Like but yeah, stuff like that, like recently now, like I've been throwing tricks and variations like already of new stuff I want to do. And, yeah. So
you'll I guess slowly like throw in one concept in your typical sesh. Yeah. And then kind of start working on it. Yeah, that's cool. I'll probably do something similar. I think most people probably do similar stuff. Yeah.
But I will say that like in order to like get to progress, and I mean I feel like I've had this. I've been kind of missing this in my most recent months. Is like I will say that in order to get better, you have to have once you reach a certain level, you have to have like intent on like a trick, or else it's not gonna happen. Like you have to have like intent on like a certain type of trick because as we were talking about, it's so easy to get caught in the same thing. And then, even by doing that, like you still like, if you play every day, like naturally like are watching videos and stuff and like your inspiration, you're gonna naturally try stuff and like once you find a concept that's fun for you, you're gonna naturally like gravitate towards it and you're just gonna get better without really putting much thought into it.
Yeah.
But like I feel like the hardest progress that is made and like what I feel like probably not a lot of Kendama players do, because this is actually really hard, is you literally have to put an intent on tricks that you suck at and you suck at and they're not fun for you and just do them anyways. That's how people get like their variety of tricks to be bigger. Because at some point, like when you can kind of do a trick and it becomes fun, the only thing that's not fun about a trick is I feel like the biggest part that's not fun about a trick is when you can't do it.
Right.
And like nobody's gonna say that like when you're hitting a trick that isn't fun.
Yeah.
You know, like for the most part.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important too.
It's a really, really good point.
Like
because I think about Plateuing a lot, you know, and I think like at the gym or whatever, however you can kind of plateau, you know, like and in every type of part of life. And I thought about my ability too of playing Kendama, and I think when you start playing Kendama, you're in your first week to your first 6 months, everything is new. And so like you'll land stilt for the first time, stilt in, and then you just immediately go to the next trick. And so you're so used to that new feeling and that new thing. And you don't have any judgment toward yourself because this is a new toy. But a year or two in, if you play consistently, you start to get good at certain tricks. And then for me personally, and I'm sure it's for you, like 5 years in or 6 years in, you're really good. You're a lot of fun with the tricks that you know. And so you only know those tricks and you haven't actually tried anything new in a long time. And that's, I feel like, is when you plateau, your Kendama ability plateaus, where you're not really progressing as much. You're just doing the same tricks over and over again. And like for me too, like if I wanted to learn a goon or if I wanted to learn inward stilt, it's really hard for somebody who's been playing for 5 years to learn a brand new thing, because I'm like a top player when it comes to like, let's say 888 flips. Not a top, but maybe I'm up there. Like I'm good at them. I don't want to start over with inward stilt.
Yeah.
Like I had to start. I've never did an inward stilt, and I'm like 6 years in, and it's super difficult to like reset that. But that's how to avoid plateauing. Like I wanted to just convert my 888 flip ability of being good at it to being able to do, you know, triple stilt flip 3 times in a row, which probably be equal. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think that's important to keep in mind. You know what I mean? Like you want to keep progressing. That's why it's so hard to stay on top, because I imagine if I was like the best at a certain concept, why would I ever do anything different? I have so much pleasure and I can post and people get hyped and I like doing it, you know?
Yeah, I think like what you were saying about plateauing in Kendama, or you like where people like will try the same trick and like and not like branch out. I think I get what you're saying, but I think what you're talking about is plateauing like variety.
Yeah.
But I think like also, because I think that even if people do the same type of trick, they're gonna get better at these types of tricks, which will still be in progression.
Yeah.
And I think the only way, and just in general, plateauing in anything, I feel like the only way you plateau is if you like legitimately like stop.
Yeah.
And I'm talking not relative to like your abilities versus other people's abilities years ago or something. I'm talking about just for like oneself. Because like as long as you don't stop, you're never gonna plateau. You know, because you're always gonna improve on something.
That's a really good point.
And I think that like even for variety plateauing, even if you aren't putting in like intent, like I just said, you can still. I mean, here I'll use myself for an example. The way I learned tricks in the past, mostly, never reflecting on it now, is like through. I was really lucky because I used to play with Nick every day, up until like freshman year of college, and even in freshman year of college, we actually still made an effort to play almost every single day together. But when we were in high school, I mean, in middle school, like Nick and I played every day together. So it's like, and going through that, like, it's not like I was thinking of these tricks to like, oh, I need to do this, I need to learn this. I mean, there were some here and there, but like, what my variety was like just trying tricks that like felt natural to me through watching Nick and getting inspired by Nick, and vice versa for him too.
Yeah.
And so like. Just have that going on as well. Like even if you're not focused on like the intent, you can still get a bit bigger bag of tricks that's through natural like natural like your amount of fun you're having through doing tricks, you're probably not gonna realize you're like learning the trick honestly sometimes. Because you're like, oh, I'm kind of doing it.
Yeah.
Kind of doing it, throwing in a couple of sessions, then you can do it in combos. Like so, it's just like that can happen too.
Yeah.
I think and like Plateuing is interesting because like people will like you could argue that like some players like plateaued like a couple of years ago, and like in every sport you could say like, oh, this person plateaued, and then from there on like he or she hasn't like maintained the same level. Well, what actually happened is like their level's the same.
Yeah.
Just everybody kind of got the level rose, Yeah.
So
I mean like you can say they plateaued, but like if they're still playing, they didn't really plateau, but they just like aren't. What happened was like basically what was that their conditions changed.
Yeah.
And somehow, I mean, we all feel it throughout our lives as Kendama players, especially if we start young. That our time to play Kendama like it's gonna decrease. I will say maybe not that, but like, your responsibilities increase as you get older. That's what I want to say. Like the amount of mandatory things you need to do as an adult is more than I did do in high school. I was not even thinking about anything because my food was made for me, my parents made it for me. I didn't think about cooking or groceries, buy anything. Like no, like not really. Like I just kind of just played Kendama, did my homework, and like went to soccer. I didn't realize like and like even buying groceries and making your own food and stuff. Like, I didn't realize how much time that took until I got to college, and I was like, wait, I have to like make time for that too now. Like so, it was just stuff like that, and like, but I think just people's conditions change, and whether those conditions are a product of like life happening to them, or maybe their interests change, too. Like that, all these things could factor into the rate of one person's progression, So I mean, it's just like it's a different thing. I feel like it's a different thing to be like consistently playing, like consistently being the best version of yourself in something, than over here, which is what a lot of Kendama players want to be. It's like is to be like a really top level player, like in competition and stuff, like top level relative to everybody else too. I would say that like this, if you focus on like being a top level player all the time, like that is where like you might think like to your like a player might think to themselves like they might plateau because they're like, oh my god, like I see Takuya, he's been playing for X amount of years. Wait, this is 14? Oh my god, they're not going to factor in he's already doing literally 7 Kendall jug 7 Kendall flip. He just did 50 tap. Dude, that guy scored 1,000,000 points a game season 1. Second place person got 700 points lower than him. Takuya probably could have napped the last 45 seconds and he still would have won. Like they're like, we see those players, like some people can get discouraged, and it's easy to get that because I mean, social media is so easy for like it can influence people to think that about themselves. But I mean, like, but you're not gonna like plateau if you focus on like yourself and like kind of like pay attention to your own growth and like on tricks. But but the harsh reality is that not everybody can be a top player. That's just harsh reality. Yeah. So I think that once people like and not to say that like people can't strive for that, but like you gotta. I feel like I noticed this in the past couple years. Like to be really good at something, like you really gotta like know the sacrifice that it's gonna take. And like for players, I'm gonna talk about Takuya about this right now. And like, well, I honestly don't really want to talk about him just because I don't know his whole life. Like I'll just say Nick. Yeah. So I'll just say Nick, and like kind of and talk about myself a little bit too. It's just like the only way Nick and I got as good as we did is because the amount of time we put in. Yeah. And now that I'm looking back on it, I'm so happy I started early because like there's no way I would have many hours. I would put in that many hours as I did when I was ages 12 to 20 or 12 to 18, like as I would if I started at like age 25, because like I'm already an adult at that point. I only had one sole thing back then. It was like Kendama, school and then Kendama, pretty much. And so my priorities were like school and then Kendama, and then like all I would do was play Kendama pretty much once I first had it. And like I'm not gonna get that time, to become a top player, you gotta like have some talent, and then you gotta put in a ton of time, like a ton of hours. It's not even about how many years you play. Like people are like, I've been playing for X many years. Like Tiblex has probably played more hours than people who've been playing like over 12 years. Like I've been playing for 12. People are like, I'm playing for 12 years. Like like off and on. Like Tiblex probably like like double their hours in like half the amount of time because he's like just like that, you know. So it just takes these being like the best version of yourself and being a top player, like they're just two different things, and like most people can kind of differentiate that and kind of like, you know, look at their conditions and like either kind of like be like, yep, I realize that like I may not be this just because I have this going on, or like ready to sacrifice more time into order to become that, or you know maybe sacrifice more time for themselves, like help themselves like their mental grow too, just to have more kendama or whatever it is. I think it helps too. But I just like realize that these two are like different things. Like it is important.
Yeah, it is really, really important.
Yeah.
And all this is so relatable to real life.
Totally.
You know, like if whatever you're going for, whether it's to be like a lawyer or if it's to be a soccer player, or it's nice to be able to relate those two things. But you said so much that I want to like. There's a few things that I want to like jump in at, but. In terms of time with Tiblex, and when I talked with Nick, we talked about that too, about how people underestimate the hours that they put in. Yeah. And I generally would think this, and I think it's I have an impression that a lot of people think that when they look at Nick, when they look at you, they look at Takuya, they look at Tiblex, that they are talented and they're genetically made for Kendama and they picked it up and they learn things really quickly. But when I get to like talk with you guys and meet you and just seeing me get good at Kendama, I realize that it is so much more about time than anything else.
100%. Yeah.
Like I almost want to say that it's like 1% talent and 99% time.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really hard to say because you need to do like a control group to actually figure this out. But like, if we want to like count hours, like the amount of played, if you look at the top players, if we were to go through the top 10 players, I bet you would see like the correct amount of hours that they put in.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's all about like time prioritization. And for most of these players, I'm gonna say this for Takuya just because he's a young guy in Japan, and like I don't know. I'm just gonna assume this. I feel like it's a fair assumption. I don't think he's thinking about prioritizing time for. I don't like. For me, when I was younger, I wasn't thinking about like I need to prioritize time for Kendama because it's like the one thing I want to do, and like I can just make time for it. When I want. Like all these young players, like Takuya, he's a little older now, but like even back like a couple years ago, he's like I know he just was in grade school, and like Shinosuke. Yeah. That guy is super young, but so good too. Yeah. It's not like they're thinking about like prioritizing time for Kendama. They're just doing it. They're just doing it. Yeah. You know, like and like
they're not counting like, oh, I have an hour or two.
Yeah, they're not scheduling out. They're just playing.
They're playing 6 hours or whatever.
Yeah, which is sick. Yeah. So I don't think about it like that, but what it is time prioritization. Yeah. And stuff. So. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was telling Nick too, not to repeat myself, but it's a little bit motivational and it's a little bit not motivational, you know? Because it's like, if you don't feel like you're gifted or you're genetic, like, or talented, I would say, like you're born to play Kendama, then that's good, because to get good, you just need to put time in, just like these players that we're talking about. Yeah. But if you do feel like you're talented, like honestly, I'm a coordinated person. I always pick up things quickly. And I think I like progress Kendama relatively quickly, but just in general, like a new sport. Yeah. Are you the same way?
Oh, like gifted and stuff?
Yeah.
No.
Nick said he wasn't, and I thought that was interesting because I would imagine that if you guys were to like, let's say like you go to a bar, you go out and like there's a new game like a cornhole or like you're playing like a new coordination activity. I've always generally picked up that kind of stuff quickly, and I've been impressive to people. But you wouldn't say you and Nick?
Well, I mean, I would say like for myself, like I wouldn't say like I'm not gonna go into these things thinking I'm like, oh my like cornhole game or like bowling or something. Yeah. I would never go into stuff like that and be like, I'm gonna suck at this. Yeah. There's some things in life where I'm like, dude, I'm gonna suck at this. Yeah. Like, for sure. Like those things, I'm probably gonna be like
average.
Yeah, that or like if I get my groove, like I'll probably do decent, like maybe, or I could just suck too. But I'm not gonna think I'm gonna suck. I mean, I've definitely been in situations where people are like, this is so funny to me. Like people definitely, I definitely have my fair share of situations where people are like, where I'm doing something and I'm like doing okay. Yeah. And then people are like, oh, you're good at everything, huh? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, oh my god, no. What? Like,
Yeah.
no. You just know I play Kendama, I'm good at that, and I just do one thing else that I'm like,
You don't want to put your expectations
like, dude,
on.
you're good at everything. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like, but I just the only things that I've ever been good at is just like because I've put time into it. You know,
Yeah.
the things that I'm best at are things that I spend the most time doing. It's not like it's very rare that I'm doing something and I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually incredible at this
Yeah.
from like day 2.
Yeah.
You know, and that doesn't happen to me.
No.
And the
Yeah.
reason, even if I'm okay at it first, I know I'm not gonna be like, dude, I'm good at this. Like I'm really good because I'm never gonna say I'm really good at something unless I put so much time, unless I put a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
You know, because even if I'm already okay at something, I know the ceiling of where I could actually go with that is so much higher. Like
Yeah.
there's so much room
Yeah.
for me, you know, to
Yeah.
improve on. Like the only thing I say I'm like good at in life, like the only one thing I can only confidently say I'm good at in life is probably Kendama.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm comfortable saying. Like people ask me like, people ask me like, are you good at that? I'm like, I just say like, I'm pretty experienced. I'm playing for a long time.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, like I just say that. I feel like
If you don't say that, then and then they find out that you're a top player, then you just sound like you're like too aware of you. It's like the people who go to like an Ivy League, and like instead of saying like, oh, I go to Columbia, they say I go to a school in New York City. And now I don't know if you've experienced this, but now whenever someone says like I go to school in Boston, I know that it's an Ivy League school because you know what I mean. I don't know if you ever thought that before. Like you just say you go to Harvard, you know.
Yeah.
But it's probably similar where it's like. Yeah, you can just say that you're good because once they find out, if you say like, "Oh, I'm okay," and they find out that you're a top player, then
I would never say that I'm.
Yeah.
I would never say that like. In all seriousness, I'm not. I would never say to somebody that I'm like, not really. I would
Yeah.
never say that.
No.
Like I would never, because then I'm just lying to like
Yeah.
myself at that point.
Yeah.
Or like lying. I don't think I'd literally be lying to them. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
Yeah.
I always tell like the truth, but I'm not gonna be like cocky about it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'll just be like, yeah, or like,
Yeah.
or I'll be like, I've been playing for a long time. So,
Yeah, that's a good answer.
yeah.
It's hard. Like, I mean, you should be proud too. You know, I guess maybe we just interact with a lot of like braggy, cocky people that you don't want to be like that. But you and Nick are like super humble, which is really nice. You know, like you could be like way more cocky. I don't know if you. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really fit my.
Personality.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about. I'm really curious about this list, and this might be kind of controversial in the community. But if you had to name your top 10 Kendama players.
Oh God. Top 10? That's a lot.
In order.
In order.
I guess maybe just for the sake of the fact that I just brought this on you, we could do like.
What about
you
top
look
5?
nervous.
What about like top 5?
I kind of want to do top 10.
Alright, what's on top 10?
All right.
Alright. Top 10.
I'll write them down.
Alright, top 10.
Could you confidently say who you think the best is in the world?
Yeah. I think Takuya's at the top.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Tiblex are like actually insane. Like they are doing tricks that nobody can touch. And you know, like I think the top 2 players in the game are undisputably those two and my brother.
Okay.
I think those 3 are like easily the top players in the world. It's not even.
So
it's actually not even close, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's just like those 3 play at a level that like literally make other really good players look bad at Kendama.
Yeah.
Like especially recently, like I mean Nick has always done that for many years, like for like a long time now. But, like especially recently, Tiblex and Takuya, I'm literally watching their stories, like I'm like, oh my god, like I suck.
Yeah.
Like I actually suck. Like this is wow. Yo, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, dude. Then I'm actually thought. Then I'm thought like, dude, if I think I suck, like, what do other people think?
What does Johnny Cross think?
No, like, what?
I think you guys talk crap a lot, so.
That's so funny. Johnny's a funny player because, like, I swear to God, that guy doesn't need to continuously play to actually be good. Everything we just talked about doesn't apply to him. Like,
Dude, yeah.
He's actually, like, really good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Johnny's actually
I mean,
like,
Nick were
really
joking around, like, it doesn't look like he should be good, but
No.
the way he plays,
His
right?
play style, well, yeah, I mean,
Like the way he doesn't.
No, yeah, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. Like his style is like it's like it just goes on.
Yeah.
And
he just spikes it and you kind of get surprised.
No. I feel like he knows what's going on, but like I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's so good and like he went through this like wrist injury a couple years ago.
Right.
And he didn't play. It was on his right wrist. He didn't play. He didn't play with his left hand. He was like, F it, I'm just want to watch anime. That guy actually grinded anime for a bit. Now if I play video games or something, but like, he came back and I swear to God, I was like, dude, were you actually injured? Like you're literally landing like tricks that are like your level when you stop.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I play every day. Like,
what happened?
I was expecting
you to do.
I play every day, Johnny. You don't need to play. Like, what? Like, I know I wouldn't suck if I stopped playing, like, and then came back to it, but I definitely would feel worse.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's just some, like, him and Bryce are, like, actually just special. Like, they don't need, I swear those two don't need to play to be good. Johnny plays, but, like, you know, like, Johnny plays for sure, but I'm just saying, like, he has the potential to probably not, and then just do really well. Anyways.
Yeah. All of the Johnny, we both are good friends.
No, yeah, I love Johnny. I live with him, so, yeah. Takuya, Tiblex, Nick.
So would you say in order, would it be Takuya, Tib, and then Nick? Or would you
I want to say it to be something like that, just because Nick is admitted to me that those two are better than him.
Okay.
Sorry for sharing that information publicly. But, he has admitted that.
Has he been okay with admitting that? Is he? Like,
no, he's been okay with it, man. I mean, he's not to say he doesn't want to like. I mean, Nick's still pushing. I mean, we can talk about that in a bit, but like, I think he knows that. I mean, even Nick will, you know, like the tricks that those two are doing are actually like, they're in their own world. Yeah. And like,
but I feel like Nick is like that too.
No, he is like that. He is like that. But not in the tricks they're doing. Not in the tricks they're doing. Because the tricks that they're really good at, Nick can't even touch those. You know, and that's saying a lot because Nick's good at a lot of tricks. Like, Nick's really high level at a lot of tricks.
Well, what do you think specifically? What kind of tricks are Takuya and how do you pronounce it? Takuya and Tibi, what are they doing that Nick can't do?
Well, they're doing way higher level taps. I mean, like,
right.
They're both. I mean, Nick's really good at gunslingers, but Tiblex is probably better.
Okay.
Tiblex can just do slings in line that are like actually no.
Have they done like 1, 2, 3 tray stilts?
No.
No.
But Nick. Oh yeah. No, Nick has stilts.
Nick has a lot.
Nick has stilts in another dimension.
Okay.
Like, dude, Nick's hitting. And these two players have done tricks that inspired by Nick from a couple years ago. Tiblex has done like over half of Nick's tricks.
Yeah.
Inspired by Nick Gallagher 42. You know, all the top players.
Yeah.
A lot of people. You know, all these top players are really good up and coming. Like, and they used to be these two. You know.
Yeah.
They love Nick because Nick has pioneered such difficult tricks.
Yeah.
You know, like tricks that are years in advance, and like these people are just doing now. You know, and they're grinding for him. And Nick was doing them years ago.
Yeah.
You know. So it's really cool. But, I mean, these people are on a level of their own, and I feel like the tricks I'm about to say are like so obvious. I'm talking taps, Ken flips. I feel like Nick is so good at Ken flips too. Nick is one of the Ken flip gods. But like something that was surprising me recently about Takuya was that he just did like airplane 1.5 out, 7 Ken flip jug, 7 Ken flip jug in a story, and I was like, dude, you did 1.5, 7, and then a clean juggle into another 7. Like, you're disgusting. Yeah. Like, you're crazy.
But is that can Nick?
I feel like Nick maybe could do that.
Yeah.
If he really went for it, I feel like. I mean, 7 is such a big number. I know Nick can do like high level Ken flips, like high numbers. Can he do the first 10?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like in line though, like I don't want to say I don't know. But I feel like Ken flips, those two are like those three are like on the same level, if not like. Tiblex might be a little high, but that guy does Ken flips like all the time. I mean, he's got Tiblex's lates are like really good. I saw Tiblex's late Ken flips are disgusting.
You see his so trip. So you trip. Does Nick have that?
He can do the trip.
Yeah.
He's good. He's really good at those. Yeah. Those three goes. I guess Ken flip was a bad example.
I'm just trying to think like besides taps, what Takuya and Tiblex have.
Takuya. Well, they're both really high level at the new tricks too.
Right.
They're both really high level at the new tricks.
Goons,
like, they're both
strings.
And like Takuya will be doing lines that are like, and they're both really good at balance tricks. Like they're actually insane. At borders, lean houses. They're both, and especially Tiblex, dude. That guy's been doing borders for a minute. Like that guy's really good. And of course, Takuya came out of nowhere and did like a border trick that was actually just harder than everything.
What trick was it? You remember?
Well, I don't know, but then he did for Crom Chicken Year, he saw it, right?
Instant border, instant cloud, instant border,
Yeah, and then instant border flip at the end out of that.
Yeah.
Just like, when did you like?
I don't see much.
I don't know when he practices these things. You know, maybe it just comes to him. Yeah, probably not. No, definitely not. Like, that's that's what we'd all like to say, but no.
Yeah. You just hope. Right?
Yeah.
It's like something supernatural, right?
Yeah, dude, this guy's gifted from God.
Yeah.
Anyways, those 3 are all like super high level, but I mean.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Anyways, we can all agree on that.
Put those 3, and then. I know this is hard.
After those 3, it's really.
Currently, right now, because you could say historic. There's.
Oh yeah, I'm not thinking about historic. Yeah,
right.
I'm thinking about right now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's after those 3, it's hard for me to say anything because I don't because ranking players is like ranking players for me used to be easier, but now it's like harder for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. All the players that I used to have on my top list, they stopped playing.
Yeah.
Or they either literally stopped playing or they just stopped playing as frequently. So
yeah.
their level has gotten improved like in a substantial amount in a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, now it's way hard for me to say. In a top 10 list, I don't really.
Well, would we? I guess if we just name some players and you tell me if you think they're top 10.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Edwin.
Yeah. That should have been. Yeah, I don't know why.
4 maybe like. You think they're close to 3? I guess unless we think of another player.
Oh, if he's like the 4.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say just because like. I don't know. I mean, I need to see more of him. I mean, he's so good at one thing I will say about Edwin, he's a prime example of what we just talked about time-wise.
Yeah.
I know that guy just lives and breathes Kendama.
Yeah.
I know he does.
It's incredible.
I know he plays like 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You see his stories,
because,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a million. He quite literally has over 1,000 tricks.
Yeah.
With the right hand, left hand. You know,
dude, left hand is a big part of this.
Yeah.
Some people could argue that Edwin, because he can do so many good tab tricks and late tricks, that he could be higher. I guess it might be, but then again, I mean, Nick has a left hand. He did double stilt.
Yeah.
Trey.
Yeah.
Not Edwin's level, but
no one's in Edwin's league.
Right.
At all. Even though
with left hand.
Even though yeah, that's funny. Nick actually was like, once Nick started playing with his opposite hand, his right hand, I was like, bro, get a life. I was like, something else.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but make that joke. I couldn't help but say tricks, but like it's
too
really,
much. Yeah.
You do get stop. Actually, stop. Like,
yeah.
But it's hard for me to. I don't know if Edwin's like strictly like just like number 4.
Okay. But
I would say here's another person I will say is in the top 10 for sure. Alex Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
Alex and Edwin are some of the best players in the U.S. easily.
Yeah.
Easily in the top. I would. Top 10 is so hard, you know.
Would you say Japanese player that should be up there? Modi?
I mean, yeah.
Maybe?
I'd say maybe just because, I mean, it sounds, 10's not that many, but I guess it's kind of a lot if you're talking about, like, top players.
Yeah.
But, like, I do think he's a very, like, top player, but, like in competing, I know he's good, too.
Yeah.
Which is actually a huge thing for me, because it's one thing to be, like, really good at, like, filming clips and stuff, but if you can't compete, then I literally will, like, rank a little lower, you know? Like,
it takes consistency and pressure and performance to...
Yeah, to, like, nail stuff on stage, and it's really...
And obviously, so far, everybody
can do it.
Yeah.
Everybody here definitely can do it. Obviously, you don't see a lot of Tiblex action in competition, but, like, pretty sure he hasn't competed in, like, a million years. Actually, he did do good third at like KFC, so yeah. He did.
Did you say... Oh, yeah, Tib hasn't competed that much.
No, definitely not.
Would
he
you
doesn't get a lot of opportunities to either, so it's not his fault.
Some names about my head: Ben, Harold, Bonds. Do you think now they're in the top 10? No. Okay. Certain reason why?
I mean, they both have. Okay, so I'll start with Bonds, and obviously I feel like I don't even need to say this, but I'll say anyways. Like, love to both these players, but like Bonds plays in a style where he's still like amazing. I mean, that guy is so good. He'll always be so good. And you know, that guy, I feel like he is someone who picked up Kendama really fast.
Yeah.
He's like one of those people who like all the talent. You got the talent thing going. And he definitely put a lot of time in it. You know, which is good as he is. But he's doing tricks that are like so crazy balance wise. He's on a level and like, but I mean, I feel like in today's game you have to have juggles down.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have them down.
True.
And I feel like Bond's juggles are good,
Yeah.
but they're not like top.
They're not
They're not
in.
like expert level.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say they're like I wouldn't say they're expert level. He's so good at controlling the ball, juggles and stuff. And he does juggle all the time. I just wouldn't say I'm talking about juggles like lakes. I'm talking about like multiple rotation juggles in line. Like I don't know, like all these different things. I know he's capable of doing them, but his level, from what I've seen, isn't top. And like plus, and he used to be doing really well in every competition, and now he doesn't. Right. So that's another thing I look at too. I don't obviously I don't know if he's shown the same amount of care in competition, but for me like I don't really care about that. I mean I only go based off what I see and what's happening. You know, I'm not going to speculate. I'm like, whoa, he could do this if he did this, like because he's not doing it. Yeah. You know. Yeah. He literally showed the Battle of the Warrior like competed on a fresh purple top. I'm like, I literally looked at it. I'm like, I laughed. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, like what are you doing, Johnny? Clean him up. Johnny.
Set my voice.
I'm like, Johnny, get him. Punish him for that decision he made, and Johnny did. Did he? Yeah. Johnny versus Bonds. I'm like, this could be a good match. Nope. Johnny's gonna murder this guy.
Yeah. 3-0.
I don't remember, but he won. So
okay. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it was 3-1.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like I can kind of like steelman a case of like he has Bonds. And maybe Ben Harrell has a certain ability, but probably we'll stick to Bonds right now, like in terms of not juggles, but just the more old-fashioned kendama of like Sam Cannon type, going from stalls in between kens and not juggling, but just kind of transferring. But I can see you saying that, first of all, Nick has that.
Yeah, all these players on this list right now so far, like, they're
the new gen.
They
right?
literally they have all these tricks.
Yeah.
Like that. Plus the juggles so good, you know. So it's just like stuff like that I think makes a person like a top player. Like at the really top of the game. You got all these their bag of tricks are crazy, and plus they're really proficient in all of them.
Yeah.
For Ben, I mean, it's kind of like the same. It's almost the same thing as Bonds.
Yeah.
I mean. A lot of respect to Ben. He pioneered these tricks that these kids are so good at now. Yeah. Not kids, these guys. And he changed the game. Like he literally changed the game with these tricks. So he literally did it. All these tricks first. Most of them, I guess. Anyways, and Ben has continuously worked on his taps and juggles, you know, for a long time, and he has a really good level with them, you know. I don't know, but for me, I don't know why I just don't think he's. I mean, top 10 is so like.
Maybe Ben with competing. When have you seen Ben compete?
Yeah, he doesn't compete that much anymore.
No. I know he judges.
I mean, I feel like I feel like he doesn't do as well as he used to.
Yeah.
He used to actually just murder.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he used to. I mean, I wouldn't say he would be like winning all the time, but he definitely has some wins on his belt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He would get in the podium a lot, and I feel like now it's like a little less.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I want to say, like, me, because when you asked me if Ben and Bonds were me and top 10, literally my first thought was like, oh shit, like this is like on video. But I just want to say, like, me putting my rankings in, I'm just one person.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
I'm just one person.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm
no
better than anybody who I'm not saying is in this list. You know.
Would you say you're
just saying my own opinion? Oh, I don't know. Like I don't want to say that because like I think it's when everybody like asks me like if in the past people used to ask me like, do you think you're
people would ask you
do you think you're in this and like well now like, I've had that asked me too like recently too and I don't like to I don't know like top 10 like I don't. Part of me wants to say yeah, but I mean I don't know. You know, people have so many people with different opinions, and like I feel like
I don't know. You're not comfortable with it.
Yeah, I don't want to put myself like in there, even though like I don't know. Like,
and you probably go back and forth. Like some of those good sessions, you're like, oh, I'm top 10, and other times you're like, oh, or that's how you always think about it either.
Yeah. Plus I know like even if I say like. I don't know. Like if you asked me if I was top 20, I'd actually say yeah. 100% not a good question. Yeah. Like, but like I mean, top 10 is like, could I see myself on that list? Like, yeah. But like I don't, you know, like totally. But like I'm not gonna say like definitively like, yep. Yeah. Because like I don't know, there's so many good players, and like I know I have a lot of weak links, you know, as every Kendama player does, and I'm not proficient at the new tricks right now. at all. So
Yeah.
it's like that's another thing.
Yeah.
But I would, yeah. So I mean, and a lot of these players. Another thing I'm gonna get to, like why I'm putting these like Bonds and Ben like players like those two not in the top 10 is because I know there's people like literally in Japan who are like actually just like Maharu. I would probably put him in the top 10. Maybe.
Would you?
I think so because like dude, that guy is actually. I mean, I'd like to play with him in person more, but like that guy is actually doing tricks. That
Yeah,
like,
his KWC run, right?
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I'm gonna write him down with the question mark.
From Maharu, yeah, for sure. But like as I said, like other than the top, Edwin and Alex are pretty easy to put in that for me.
What about Liam?
No,
No?
not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
From recently?
No. I would just say no, just because like.
I mean, he has wins in his belt.
He the mini wins.
He has a ton.
Mini wins. Yeah, he has a really decorated Kendama player in terms of accolades, but like.
Yeah. But your guys are saying like it's nothing against him. It's just the fact that all these players
feel like
are so good.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're going back to earlier. I mean, these players have consistently pushed their level year in and year out. Not only skill wise, trick skill in their tricks, but skill in their competing as well.
Yeah.
And we think the caveat is Tiblex, who doesn't get that many opportunities to compete. He did get third in the online Kendamas, which is really good.
Yeah.
But like. Yeah, all these players exponentially progress their level in all ways, and they aren't slowing down. And Liam is a really busy guy. The guy plays Kendama with nobody. Much respect to him to even like continuously play that often at college. But I mean, he's so I know he's so like into his studies, and he puts a lot of time towards other things now. I mean, I know he used to be like in 2018, 17, like 19, like high school into his like high school and then he went into his like a couple first years of college, and I still felt like I still think his tricks are high level. Back then I like thought his tricks were like relative to other people like higher level than they are now a little bit. I mean, so I wouldn't say him in the top 10 and
top 20, but not top 10.
Yeah. Like I all these players, it's just hard for me to like make a 10 list past like.
Do you think of anybody else?
Honestly, no. But I like there are so many players that I think like I would probably put So in there actually.
True. Yeah.
That guy is really impressive.
I forgot about him.
In all aspects of Kendama. That guy's skill is actually. He would have. He was versing who got 700 points behind Takuya this year.
He was what?
He was second place at KWC this year. And he got a respectable point total. Like that would have gotten like second place at every other World Cup too. I mean, well, actually, so I guess I don't really make it. Anyways, he still got a really good point total. He would have won. Taki didn't show up. Taki showed up and literally did 800 points or 700 points better. So not So is somebody who like, that guy has always progressed, and like that guy was literally went from like I met that guy in Japan 2017, and he was really good. I already thought he was better than me.
Yeah.
Back then, I'm like, dude, this kid's really good, really top level player. And then he went to MKO, like Nico 2017. I'm like, dude, how do you go from being really good to literally being a god in literally a couple months? And ever since then, it's just been like literally like godly. Even now, I think
he took a break though for a little bit with studies. Right?
Yeah. He took a break, and then of course he comes back like nothing ever changed.
Yeah.
Like some crazy inward juggle line, but like. He's doing tricks now over 28, and I know even if I don't know So's life, so I don't want to speak to this like with 100% certainty, but like I don't know, like he may seem like he kind of had not been playing as much as he was 2017-18 because of studies or whatnot. Man, that guy can still play. I mean, you can see it in his style of play, his comfortability, like his trick vocabulary is really high. Like he's always been such a killing player, and something that's so like. Impressed about him. He's always so consistent.
Yeah.
2020, Nako like online. He won. In the final. He won like 2017 Nako.
Yeah.
He won 2018 Nako.
Yeah.
He's won so many competitions. He's so consistent, and that is something that I really like in players because I kind of pride myself on like consistency too.
Yeah.
And So is literally someone who's played at such a high level and has such a high level of consistency, which I've always really liked. So I would put that guy in too. Even though right now it's so easy. I would put him in the top 5 a couple years ago. I would put him in the top like 3 a couple years ago. To be honest with you, like there's all these amazing players now, and like Honestly, after Takuya, Tiblex, and Nick, it's hard for me to put a definitive ranking of 4 to 10. So I wouldn't say everybody after those people. I wouldn't say I'm not gonna say definitely one is better than the other. But like, it's just yeah. So after Suck, I don't know. I don't know. Just 'cause, I mean, like I will say this is like there are so many high level players who are like, oh my, like damn, like that person is really good at Kendama. Yeah. But there are only a couple like godly players. Yeah. I've always said that. I've always said that there's like 2 levels of like really there's like really good. Yeah. And then there's like actually just like so far ahead that you can't even like see them, to be honest with you. Like so
for me I think it would be Godly, Tiblex, Takuya, Nick, Ed, I guess all of them. Maybe not Mahari, but I haven't seen him play that much. But like in person, when I watch somebody play, and again, like Nick and I talked about this, and Nick's goal, or your brother's goal, is like you can really see how much work somebody put in person, what they're hitting, how consistent they are, right? And who I'm most impressed by, I haven't seen Takuya or Tib play in person.
Oh, you know they're good in person.
You know. Yeah, but I've seen you, I've seen Nick, I've seen Edwin and Alex, and the most impressive to me, I haven't really watched you guys that much, but when I watch Alex Mitchell play in person,
he's good.
He's so good. He's so good. So consistent. So like the taps to stalls, and you could just tell how many hours he puts in.
Oh, Alex is somebody who I mean, that guy. Yeah. So many hours he put in that. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. So
much work. He's been practicing so many tricks for so long. Like, he is an amazing.
Let's get into competition because at Battle of the Border, which was about a month or no,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right?
So Nick was in Japan. You were there. You took first in Open.
Yeah.
And then what in freestyle? Second in freestyle. Liam competed, Alex competed. Well, do you remember the podiums of Open and Freestyle?
Yeah. So freestyle was Alex first, me second, Zach Magnuson third.
Right.
And for Open, it was me first, Edwin second, and then dude, no way. This is sad. How am I forgetting third place?
Who was Edwin playing?
Jared Porter.
Sorry, Jared. Yeah. No, but it's kind of a random one too. Not that. Yeah, he just. I was so sick to see him. He was kind of like an underdog.
No, yeah, I didn't expect. When he said he was from the national, I'm like, who's from the national? Jared. Like, I mean.
And then he was like grinding.
And then he murdered. And then he did so good. So yeah.
All right. So, how badly did you want to win this? How much did you compete?
Like how much did I practice?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. How much did you practice? Yeah.
I definitely so the first competition was freestyle. So it was Friday, Saturday, and on Friday, 2-day event. Friday was freestyle, Saturday was open. So Friday came around. I'm coming off like doing pretty well in freestyle at Nico.
Yeah.
That second.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do well again in this one.
Yeah.
And then after my first round, which was against Whiteberry's girlfriend. After that one, I think the second match I played was against like Tio. And after Tio's round, and actually during Tio's round, I had one round where I played against him, where I felt really good.
Yeah.
I had a really good line that I think that made me win. And after that, I felt like, honestly, like unbeatable. Really? I literally felt so good. I was actually so confident. After that round, I was like, I'm definitely gonna win this whole thing. Like I literally was like, I don't care.
So this is freestyle, right?
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna win. Like, and I was literally hitting lines like. I definitely had the best freestyle the entire day, collectively. Like, people were definitely telling me that, and I definitely felt like I had that. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, I don't know what Alex was hitting in his other rounds, but it could not have been, like, what I was hitting. Like, like the consistency. And Alex definitely has the capability to hit, like, as hard tricks than me, for sure, but, like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't hitting the same level of difficulty and consistency that I was hitting.
I gotta go back and watch the rounds. I haven't seen him, but... You were feeling really good, and you were hitting bangers over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I like, the thing that surprised me, like, and this honestly, it kind of goes with the long thing what I was saying earlier about, like, just sessions and see what happens. When I hit against Johnny Kress, I was like, holy shit.
Johnny again!
Oh my god. Yeah, it was sucked that me and Johnny had to play. I was like, oh my god, if me and Johnny had to play, this would have been like a finals situation. But I hit quad tap jug bird in, flip out the stilt, quad stilt flip in, quad tap jug in, and I was like,
Oh my
like once I hit that, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, oh my god, that was actually that was crazy, you know. But just I mean, you know, and then I got to the final, and then I Alex went first, and I saw him play, and I was like, damn, like that's.
Was it a solid run?
That was really good. You know, Alex was so home in the finals. He was hitting a lot of things, and I felt like, I mean, I went out and I did decent.
Yeah.
But I didn't do enough to win what I felt like counter like his first round. And then the second round came in, and I watched, and I was watching. I was like, he had quad tap juggling-house and quad tap juggling-house, and so he hit 2 ice in a row. Once he hit it the second time in a row, when he hit it first, I'm like, nice. Yeah. Second time in a row, I was like.
I said the same thing.
I was like, oh my god.
Because he showed you that the first one was on an accident. Because you know you can kind of catch a lighthouse wrong, it's a lean house, and you balance it. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, and then he does it again, and I was like, oh no, he meant to do lean house.
I mean, I knew he meant to do it from the get go. Like,
did you?
He does that. He's so good at lean houses.
But to do it on stage.
To do it on stage too, and you know, honestly, like, I was like, damn, like, I need to hit bangers to win. Because at that point, if I'm flowing, like, the percentage chance that I'm going to hit something that's going to beat his collective 2 rounds that are both really good. Yeah. It's pretty low. I'm just flowing. I'm going to hit like a good line. I'm going to hit a good line, but I need to win. Yeah. You know, I want to win. And so I had some close calls on some tricks. I was close to like some combos and tricks. I still had a good run. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but like I was spending my whole run trying to like hit like 1 2-piece tricks, just absolutely just crazy bangers. You know. I didn't hit it, and then Alex won. I feel like I was told that I had more variety throughout the match and throughout the entire freestyle, like my variety throughout the entire freestyle, which I think they take into consideration. Like, you can't just be doing the same thing every round. Yeah. Pretty sure my variety was better, but like, I mean, he hit a better final round than me, and he won. And you know, I thought he won too. It's not like I thought I won. I mean,
you
expected I expected him to win. I didn't do what I thought I needed to do to win. So
and he did.
And he did really good. Yeah. So so he did really good in that, and then. So the frats on the freestyle win, I felt pretty good, but not gonna lie, like it felt like I got second in freestyle like 3 times.
Did you?
In the past like 6 months.
Yeah.
At events, and like that, seeing like the flag drift over, and like was so annoying. Like again, I was like.
Yeah.
But
you got all the way there.
No, literally, and I was feeling so good. Yeah. I was so confident I was gonna win actually, because I just felt so good. And then after going to open, I wanted to do well coming off that loss in the final, but I was
open before open. Yeah. For freestyle, do you practice beforehand? Or you're just seshing like day to day. You're not like, okay, this week before battle, I want to win freestyle. I'm gonna like learn some new combos that I can put in, or no, you just go.
No, it's just kind of like I think when I'm doing freestyle, I think of like tricks, like a certain trick or 2 that I want to hit.
Yeah.
But it's hard to think. And then I'll just kind of freestyle the rest of the round, because for me it's exhausting to think of, to literally plan it out. Yeah. And I'll literally, you know, like me thinking of like a 1 or 2 tricks to hit in the freestyle, like how I'm going to start or something, like that may not seem like a lot, but then like you literally keep coming up with ideas, and then you're like, damn, what do I need? Like what? And then it kind of gets hard to stick to like one. So that's why I think for me what works well is literally just a freestyle. Okay. I know some people in Japan meticulously plan their freestyles. Like, what if it goes wrong? I mean, some of them can hit it, you know, perfect, but like,
it's routine.
I literally like, it's so crazy. Like, I literally would like surprise myself in the BATB freestyle, because I literally don't know what I'm gonna do next. I just kind of just go. I'll literally come up with what my ender is to a trick or what I'm doing as I'm about to do it, or literally when I'm mid.
What?
No, literally. Like one of my lines was I had the best freestyle round against Chris Bosh. Oh my god. I literally did like. Anyway,
Frana should have beat Chris Bosh, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Really?
I'm gonna do a video.
You didn't break it down?
I'm gonna break it down because
you think that was some BS?
I have big beef, and I know I'm biased as hell because Frana's on my team.
Yeah.
But Frana laced and Bosh hit like 3 tricks.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
So anyway, you're gonna probably beat Frana, but
that's the shitty thing about freestyle is that judges will. Sometimes, you know, when we're watching the same thing, but they got a little score. They're watching differently, you know. And what if for whatever reason that may not align with what the general public like thinks about that, you know, what the general audience thinks, and for whatever reason another person goes through, and I definitely witnessed that happen countless times. But what was I talking about?
Chris Bosh.
Yeah, so my ender, I was literally hitting some like inside out slips.
Yeah.
I literally didn't know how I was gonna end that as I was doing it. I like 2 forward, 2 backward, and then I made.
So you lighthouse 2 forward, then 2 backward.
Like so, I did insta,
and then you like.
And then I was like, okay, and then I like flipped it up for a juggle. I was like, all right, I'm gonna fast hand it. That's what I made. Yeah, and I fast handed it. So.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't win in, so I was like. Yes. Yeah. You know, so I felt great, but like, and then going into open, I didn't have any expectations, but I wanted to do good, and then I was doing matches, and I was doing pretty well, and then I was definitely feeling honed.
Yeah.
I definitely felt honed after a couple matches, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I definitely am like trying to. I obviously want to win. You know, I want to win every comp I enter. You know, it's just that there's only one winner. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I felt really good. I had some really close matches against Logan Tosta and Jacob Treble.
Yeah.
I mean, those matches went 2-2, and then it came down to one person missing and the other person hitting it, and like, not this, and like, so I wasn't, you know, it's not like I was like unbeatable that day. I wouldn't say like I was crushing 3-0, 3-0. Like I played Alex Mitchell too. That was a tough match. Like that was 3-1, but like. Well, it could have been 3-2 as well. I mean, I don't know, you know. So, but, I mean, I would just say that like I hit the tricks, and then I was a little more consistent than my opponents. And then when it got to the final, that's actually when I felt like extremely honed.
Yeah, with Edwin, right?
Yeah, and I knew he had to beat me twice too, and 5 points. So it's like I knew I had to.
You had
the winner is like set up to win because it takes a lot of like stamina.
Were you worried about like choking at all? Like, did you get like the pressure come to you too much, and or have you been in that situation so much that you're just like, no, I'm confident?
No, I've just So I've been in a competition, you know, scenario for so many times over the years that I'm used to it. But I will say that it's still different to me than I'm just playing at home. Yeah. And even though I don't feel like shakes, because I really don't, honestly, I'm just playing up there. But it's kind of just like it's just not the same. No. Because I've the worst feeling is you're not shaking, nothing's happening, and you play like I play like horrible. Yeah. Like I play horrible. You
missed a trick that you would have.
No, literally. Like
maybe like a tap 1.5 in or something.
Yeah, exactly. I was missing. I'm like, or if I'll miss it again, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, what's wrong?
Stupid. So that's the worst. But other than that, like I don't feel a ton of nerves. Like I literally just practice the entire day that I'm still in. Like, as long as I'm in, I'm practicing. You know? And the event experience is different for people who wish to compete and make it and compete the entire time. Yeah. Because the event experience can either be talking to a lot of people, hanging out, you know, whatever. Oh, competitions here. Not really. I'm just gonna like go in. I didn't really practice. You know. Oh, I maybe I was one round. I got out. You still in? Like, no. Like I already got out. Like for people who make it to the end, I mean, I'm not doing anything else. You know, besides practicing when I'm at the end or I'm getting through it because like I want to win. Yeah. You know, and I feel like every other person who's serious about competing is like, almost the same way. Right. So in terms of preparing for Open, what was that like? So for me, it's like I went through the tricks. I didn't do this daily, but it was almost daily. So I went to tricks every day, and then I would ramp it up to I would go through tricks every day, and then I would kind of like the first time I see a trick, I go through them, kind of assess the level of difficulty. I'm like, okay, like which tricks are like more annoying for me? Yeah. Which tricks like do I need to really dial down on? And then I'll just keep going through them every day. Yeah. And then for a certain point, like this happens pretty quick after like the whole once a day thing. I'll hit it. I'll mark it up to like 3. I want to hit the tricks 3 times in a row. Yeah. As many days in a row that I can. Oh, okay. And 3 times in a row, simulating like event. I think the best way to practice is against somebody, and that's why Nick and I are pretty lucky. Yeah. Nick and I would practice against each other. Open. I think that's a really good competition because me and him are good at open. Yeah. So it's like it's good, but
it's not fair to everybody else.
Whatever. People can FaceTime competing against people if they want to, but I think that like I live with Johnny, but the funny thing about that is that I don't see Johnny that often. Our schedules are completely backwards. He has school in the morning and then I work at night, so it's just like doesn't really line up
Yeah.
for us to play Kendama the exact same time of the day. So I was practicing by myself, and so I would go through the tricks 3 times in a row.
Okay.
Not all of them, but like 2.
So every day you did it 3 times in a row.
Not every day, but like. Well, if actually for this comp I did 2 times in a row, and then I did 3 times in a row. So I kind of ramped it up like that. But like, but yeah. So I did 3 times in a row for every trick for most days up until the comp. After like a week.
Yeah.
So maybe like 2 weeks of that.
Yeah.
And to simulate like a competition intensity for 3 times in a row, competition mindset, because it's not like I'm like, what I mean by that is I'm not like going and just kind of like doing a leisurely like pull up light ass or leisurely like one of the tricks is like light ass triple flip insta, like, oh, I'm not gonna literally just pull it up and be like,
boom. Yeah.
No, I'm like sitting there and I'm really thinking about the like how I'm gonna like flip it.
Yeah.
And then catch, you know?
Yeah.
And do that for every trick 3 times in a row. That's actually exhausting.
Yeah.
Because when you add that intensity, it bites away at you too. Because if you do all that in stillness, it's it's fucking annoying. You know, it's like, and then you
do it at your full concentration.
Yeah, and then it's still annoying. And it's when you miss, it's like, oh my god. But like,
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I paid so much attention to open because I really want to get good. And this year I did pretty good. But like the process I go through, the hours I put into practice, like I'm not ashamed by it, because it's really fun and I get better at Kendama.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting that you do that too. That you, because it's not only physical skill; it's so much mental. Like, you can't just do this 3 times in a row. You can't just do this trick a lot or do these open tricks a lot. Like, you also have to like be ready mentally. And when you're on open, when you're trying to do Kendama tricks consistently, like when you're focused on consistency, it is so much different playing style, in my opinion, than just regular. It's almost opposite in a way.
Yeah.
Because when you regularly play, like you're going outside the sesh, you have no care if you miss that much. You miss airplane, you just keep going. Yeah. But if you miss airplane and open, boom, you're done. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just leisurely pull up an airplane. You
have to
always
think about
focus.
every movement.
Yeah.
To ensure your best possible chance.
Yeah, and it's like opposite of how you usually would play Kendama.
Yeah.
Which is like attempt.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's cool that you. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad to know that you like really focus when you practice on each attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you said, like it's definitely more than just skill, because it opens a different skill.
Yeah.
Like it'd be easier for me to make a top list of open players than like just general skill level players, because there are skill level who are so good.
Right.
Who just suck at open.
Jacob Treble. He does really well.
He's so good.
Every open.
And he actually is a high level player.
He is.
He's a high level player too.
Yeah, that's true.
He's so good at competing.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good at competing, and like when I went against him, like I know it was gonna be a tough match, and it was,
Yeah.
So and I like there are other players who are really good at skill wise, tricks wise, but when they come to open, it's just like they shake.
Yeah.
They're not.
Right.
Either not used to it, or they're literally just so nervous all the time. Still, So it's.
So you practiced a decent amount.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I practiced like a ton, but like I definitely practiced a solid amount for sure.
Yeah. I mean, is that all you did? Like, a week or two before the event, like how many hours were you putting in per day just on battle? Would you say?
Like an hour.
Okay.
Or at least an hour. Yeah. At least an hour.
At least an hour.
Because sometimes I wouldn't even play Kendama. I would just practice and then.
Yeah. And then put it.
And I just said those two like they were different.
Yeah.
Like. Like literally, like I wouldn't just play Kendama. I would just practice my Kendama for the day.
Yeah.
I would just practice the tricks. So.
Yeah. Okay. So you would. Would it be the same thing of like, okay, I'm looking at the list, I'm gonna try to get things 3 times in a row, and then you just kind of focus on the ones that you feel like you need to focus on, just a general feeling of like, I need to get this more consistent, I need to get this one, I need to learn this one, because I'm not good at it, like that type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then you get to the event, and you play all day, and you practice, and then while you're competing, you're practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do you do anything? Any mind rituals? Like, I know it kind of sounds weird, but like, how do you get in the zone?
That's a good question. I think I don't really do anything like that. I just kind of like go off by myself or with a friend, like Johnny, or like in the Battle of the Warriors, usually Johnny or Josh Kim, because we're the last ones in from Sweets, and I'll just practice. But like before the match, I'll definitely make sure I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
and wash my hands.
Okay. Yeah.
And even if I don't need to go to the bathroom, I can just wash my hands
Yeah.
beforehand. Not right beforehand the match, but like at least like a couple minutes before my match.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always done that because like I've always done that if I can at events because like at the first event I won, I did that.
Yeah.
So I just fucking I also
You
wore
just in the bathroom?
I was washing my hands.
Oh, wash my hand. Okay. Yeah. Wash your hands.
But yeah, sometimes at events I really seem to need a little bit to go to the bathroom like a lot. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is. It's just the competition shits.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And it's
and the sexy your name could be called it. You don't really know.
no,
what it is,
literally.
you call
Then
it,
I'm like, well, then I'm thinking like
in the bathroom.
then I'm thinking like, if I hear my name and then I'm like, dude, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna be there right now. They better not disqualify me.
Yeah.
I know they see me here. I know they see me here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that longer. I'm gonna be that much longer. Like, just wait.
Yeah.
Please, like, but yeah, no. Mostly it's just going to the bathroom. Usually just going to the washroom, wash my hands. You know, so it's just like grease off my hands. You know, fresh.
Yeah.
And then it just just go. That's it. I don't really do anything other than that.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, we covered competition. I think we talked a lot about that. Change the topics here.
Yep.
Elliot Patterson.
What the? What about him?
I want to talk to you about stringless.
Okay.
What do you think about it? Do you think it's the future of Kendama? Do you look at Elliot's tricks as way easier? Do you think they're a real trick, as if he's like now playing Kendama or something? But
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think the stringless is I still look at it. I think it's a little silly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the string is part of what makes like a kendama. Kendama, it's one of the main pieces.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're taking a string out, it's almost the same as taking like a cup out. That's how like it's just how fundamental it is. Like I feel like I know like it's not like same, but like the string is like as present in a kendama as like the cups are. It's like a main part, and like I do respect Elliot's tricks. Elliot is an amazingly skilled player.
Yeah.
That guy is a high level player.
Yeah.
He's doing tricks that are
1, 2, 3
extremely
straight
difficult.
still.
He did 1, 2, 3 straight still. It's extremely hard to do tricks like that. I played with him in person a little bit at Battle of the Border.
Yeah.
Extremely good at taps. So consistent. But I will say the string is something there that every Kendama player like deals with, and like is if you can manage it, that is another that adds to your skill. And like removing it completely, I mean, it looks silly to me because if you miss, you have to be like.
Oh, you have Elliot's time.
Literally, when that guy misses down spike, his tongue rolls around the leg. I literally can't help but laugh at him when that happens. I'm like, dude, that's so dumb. Like that's so dumb.
Yeah, he expects it.
Put a string on it. Like I don't know, but like. He's so used to it now. I mean, he doesn't even. I talked to him about this about the bar. He's like he doesn't even. And when I play stringless, I'm always kind of like ready. You know, to cash it. He doesn't even do that. He just waits for it. When he misses, that's when he's like, oh.
So you do play stringless sometimes?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I say win, which is never.
Okay.
No.
The one time you
I don't.
tried.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Like whenever I set up at home, there's no string on it. I'm like, nice.
Let's do like.
I'm not doing real tricks on it. I'm just doing like fucking around. But, like whenever I'm like doing like spiking like or something like, or I'm going for like a spike, I'm like, okay, like, and I'm like I'm like, just so I can catch it, you know.
Right, that's hand
I never play stringless at all. Like,
Okay.
I just don't do that. But like, I don't think it's the future at all. I really hope it's not. And I think that's just I mean, I do think it makes doing tricks easier.
Yeah.
Because you have no
course.
block. You don't have no block. You don't have to worry about any.
But like the
blocking.
best thing you can do to make a trick easier, because the string is that much more.
It's that important. That's an obstacle in the trick. It can work with you or against you for sure. You can. It's stopped every Kendama player from lacing tricks like countless times. You know, if we get on the string, it's like guaranteed. Like plus juggles are like a no factor. If you're already good at juggles and no string, well, say hello to infinite juggles, infinite Ken flips.
Yeah.
Because once you can throw a ball as high as you want, oh my god, you have the most safe. You feel so safe. Like you can just flip it. I mean, I know it's not like a player can just be like, all right, hey Ken flip.
Yeah.
Because you still need technique. You still need technique. Technique's still important, but that string losing the string makes almost every trick easier. Like 1, 2, 3 stilt tray, like that's an amazing trick.
Yeah.
That's hard way hard. The when you tray, the string wraps around.
Really?
Like when you tray the string will wrap. The string will move with that. You know, you're not flipping it in a straight motion. You're flipping it. It's spinning. You know, it's spinning like this. The string is gonna follow that. You know, and it's gonna like, and that's what makes that trick hard too. Is like, you know, dealing with the string. Like, I just keep trying and trying again, hoping it won't tangle up in a bad way to stop your next tray. Yeah. You know, and he didn't have to deal with that. Not saying. I mean, it's still amazingly technical. You're still tracking 1, 2, 3 trays in a row.
Yeah. I've been debating in my head about this string thing for a while. In fact, I play a lot of stringless. I do, like a lot of taps, not nearly as much as Elliot only plays stringless, but I play a decent amount. Yeah. Just if I want to like get down taps, you know, or I want to get down like a long line that I know the string will get in the way. But like in Steelman Elliot's case, 1, 2, 3 tray, like, he would be the first one to admit that it makes it a lot easier. But the string really has no business being there. If you want to be consistent at 1, 2, 3 tray, or like even just a tray stilt flip, or triple tray stilt flip, then I feel like in consistency's sake, like getting rid of the string is just gonna get in the way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think going stringless is like a relatively good practice tool. Yeah. You know, for mini tricks. Yeah. Just to get the feeling down, as you said. Yeah. For some motions. Yeah. Not having to worry about the string in some aspects is nice because the string is going to stop some repetitions, which could be annoying for someone who's learning a trick. I definitely get annoyed by it. I do think it's a good practice tool, but I mean, like, for me, like, if I'm playing stringless, like, I'm just, I don't. You're messing around. Yeah, or that. I don't want to, like, I've never fully practiced on stringless either, just because, like, it's just when I don't want to drop it that many times, like drop the ball all the time. I don't want to go chasing after. You know, it's just like it's annoying. Yeah, it's really annoying for me. So it's just like, yeah, I think it's a good practice tool, but I would never like do a trick on it for real. Yeah, because I would want to just do it on a string.
Do you think it's possible to be in complete control? Obviously not all the time, but like be completely in control of the string. No, you don't think so? No. It's, obviously in 2012 you would say it's impossible to probably be completely in control of the bevel, right? The tama rotation. Yeah. And then, now we have players who can. Yeah. You and Zack and Nick and these top players. And of course, like 100% is probably hard, right? The exact rotation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think anybody has like 100% control. No. It's just like, people can definitely make that.
In terms of like doing still, juggle still, and tama deburge, where your bevel is, stunt fast tricks, right? Yeah. But you don't think this. You think the string with just how random it is. You don't think you could have complete control?
I think
as close as you can to complete control.
No, I think like what makes when people like are using. I think a big topic of conversation now is like different strings and like maybe not a big topic of conversation, but there's more different types of strings than I've ever seen before. Yeah. During right now, these lab, all these Adrian string. Yeah. Whatever, and then
long string, short string.
Long string, short string. I mean, I use lovely knots and I have Lotus for years, so it's like, and a string control is like, you do like people can do it, and like I don't really know how to talk about it right now because I know I do it too, but it's just not like
you can't put it into words.
It's not like I'm like doing like. It's not. Yeah, I can't put it into words, and it's not like I can like. To control the string when I'm doing like double tray, it's just I think like if you flip a tray and like efficiently and in a correct way, the string will move with you and and then it'll allow you. Yeah. And sometimes it just gets tangled on certain tricks, I feel like that's how it is. I mean, like obviously like some players who aren't as skilled as other players will find the string may find the string more annoying than top level players because they have that experience. I think movement. Or like efficiency of how you do how a player does tricks plays a big factor in controlling the string too. I mean, when you say controlling the strings, I'm literally thinking like it's tangled up and in a kind of a weird way, but it's not impossible to get out of. But then like a person flips it and it's like, oh my god, now the string is gonna like go to untangle itself in midair and then be completely reset. I mean, you can flip it. You can definitely do that to an extent in some ways, but not as dramatic as I'm like thinking of right now. You know.
I guess what I mean is like, your example of a double tray. Let's say you're playing stringless, or even if you're with a string, you can consistently get a double tray where it's possible to do it 100 times in a row, right? Like a double tray, and even the most difficult tricks, like no one's done it before, but like just the way the Ken is solid and the way the Tama is solid, and if you flick it right, it's going to double tray, and you can get really good at it, and you can catch it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of an argument for stringless. Of course, there's the issue of the Tama running off and it being annoying, but with you not being able to control the string, it's just like for consistency's sake, it's annoying because I want to be able to do I value and Elliot values and you value consistency so much in Kendama, and like if I want to be consistent at something where I can just do it every time perfectly, and then also I admit that the string cannot be consistent. You can't control it. You can't control it perfectly. Then why do I have a string on? Right?
I mean, I get what your argument is.
Yeah.
I do think there's some validity in that, like for sure. Like you make like good points, except that like stringless to me just looks dumb.
Yeah.
That's just what it is to me.
Like it's funny because like as a beginner player, a string is going to you're gonna miss and it's gonna drop.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with Kendama is that it drops a lot, right? You miss tricks. Like what was talking about open? Attempt.
Yeah.
And the string is nice because it's really one value besides the whole string flow trick thing.
Right.
The one value it has is to make sure
connected.
Keep it connected.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it just takes so much away from like possible consistency tricks, you know?
Yeah, no, it does. It does, but it's just like that hasn't stopped consistency tricks from being done before.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And so I know it's possible.
Yeah.
And especially if you have like a string that's not like pretty fresh, like that's not like sweaty and stuff, it's gonna like you can go pretty far with that.
Yeah.
And like especially if you have good, like if you're doing stuff in a way that will like allow the string to move to your offside, you know, as much as possible, so it's not going over your hand.
Yeah.
Which that is what I'm talking about. Mostly like stuff like that will happen, like trays. Not like that'll literally hang around the Ken as much, but like stuff like that when you're playing stringless, you don't have to deal with like the string being like over here.
Yeah.
And then that'll walk you.
And
like consistency tricks have been done with a string. And like, I don't know like how many consistency tricks have been done with stringless so far. And I do think like a lot of opportunities are open for that. But like, I don't know, you have to be thinking of like some crazy consistency tricks to like not to literally be like, oh, you can only do that stringless.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I mean, like, I guess obviously like 50 tap and 100 tap will be done, probably.
Hopefully.
But like in terms of like maybe like 10 tap, juggle 10 tap, juggle 10 tap, like with all those juggles, I guess it can be done. It's like taking a lot longer for like no reason. And of course there is a reason because it's gonna be annoying to pick up the Ken, but like, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think the reason why a lot of people, I feel like, I mean, how many people have you seen play stringless so far? Do you feel like it's a lot?
No, it's just Elliot, and then it's just this debate that I have in my head of like trying to be open about Kendama, about maybe this is a potential. Because I talked to Elliot, I'm gonna have an interview with Elliot about this. Yeah. So I really want to explore this because I did like his argument about consistency. Yeah. And yeah, so
as it stands now, I think that a lot of people aren't doing it just because. And not to say that it's like completely wrong, you know. Yeah. Stringless, I don't want to. I mean, for me, I just don't like it. But I'm not gonna say it's like completely wrong. I mean, because like I mean, just because people are doing something different doesn't mean it's not popular. Doesn't mean it's like inherently wrong. You know, it's the new thing, and that's how like these new shapes were built too. Yeah. It's like the same in that way. But like for me right now, I think doing stringless has for me how I see it adds a little invalidation to a trick. Like it invalidates it a little bit for me. That's why I think a lot of people are doing it right now. Yeah. Just because if people I think that is the reason, because if people knew that like stringless tricks were like legit, you know, there would be a way more. I'd probably be doing it to be honest, doing some tricks just to get it down. But I think the string is so integral to Kendama that like. I agree. Yeah. No, I mean, once you play enough Kendama, you realize how annoying
the string is and how easy these tricks would be, how much easier they would be, right? Not to say that 1, 2, 3 Stilt trays easy at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
so hard.
Crazy trick,
really
string
cool.
stringless, but like.
Yeah.
Who do you talk with most? Obviously your brother, but like, who are you talking? Do you talk Kendama a lot? And
Me and Nick?
no, just like in general, like with you and your friends or whoever you're talking with.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. So actually, I'd say my best friends right now are like, me and my best friends. I like 3 back home. Like Johnny's included in one of them. We definitely talk about like Kendama a lot because we're all Kendama players.
Okay. Who is it?
So it's Johnny, my friend and my good friend and roommate Max, and then one of my friends Sahir.
Okay.
You may have seen Nick and I have posted stuff with him in the past. You may have seen.
Okay.
I also have this really good friend called named Sohan. He doesn't play Kendama, so we don't really talk about it, but we talk about different stuff.
Yeah.
But like, but yeah, we talk about Kendama a lot. It's not the whole conversation all the time because we're more invested. Like we're in each other's personal lives, so like we're at those things a lot more. You know, just naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of like like news, Kendama community news, like about Crom or like, somebody hit a really cool trick or somebody's 28 tricks later. Like you talk a lot like about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I would say that. I would say so, and like definitely with me and Johnny. And I can talk with Max and Zahir about stuff too, like Kendama, but like I can talk to. I mean, Max is pretty fresh into Kendama. He's only been playing for a little over a year, so. He doesn't really know what happened in the past with some pros. Like he doesn't know some players that like, a lot of people know just because he started so late. You know? Relative to everybody else started.
Yeah. But Johnny's totally involved.
Johnny's so involved, and like Sahir has known about Kendama since 2014, but kind of just started playing again like a year ago.
Okay.
So he's in the know about stuff from way back when, so it's kind of fun to talk about that too. Plus, he's just like a collector. Yeah. So he like buys a lot of Kendamas. So it's fun to talk to about that. But, like. Johnny's the only one that I can really talk to about like absolutely everything because he's been in the game for so long. We're on the same company. We can talk about everything so he's related to each other. No like limitations because we're on the same team and we know all of it. Yeah. We know like all the information we know is what about the we both know the same information so we just talk about it. Like and then competing. Johnny plays at a really high level, so I can talk to him about that stuff. Like. Right. That's something I can only talk to him about. And then, that stuff like that, like everything Kendama really, I can just really talk with Johnny about because he understands me the most in Kendama out of like all my friends. Yeah. So
how often do you talk to Nick?
Oh, like a lot, like every day in some form. Like we're in like a lot of group chats together. Plus, like we'll just message and send stuff to each other all the time. Yeah. So
Do you guys FaceTime a lot? You guys talk on the phone often?
Honestly, no.
No.
We voice message.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we voice message a lot.
I did that too with my brother.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. It's kind of really.
It's actually OP. Cool. It's gonna be the new thing.
It's really cool because it's like if you want to text something, it's like it's gonna take so long. Just hit the microphone and then boom.
Oh, yeah.
And then so we talk about me and they talk about like Kendama a lot too, like each other's lives as well and all that.
Tricks,
cool. Tricks for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, tricks. Yeah, you can talk about tricks.
Yeah. Kind of a different question, but what has been like just looking at how Kendama has evolved, like the community wise, like the different eras of Kendama. Like now that you look back, you can kind of tell like there's certain eras of like 2016 and 2017, 2018, and then like way back 2012 and 2013, and then even like kind of 2020 and the newer stuff. Like, what has been your kind of favorite eras of Kendama in terms of like the community and tricks that you've seen, and like the most hype and the popularity? Like, did anything come to mind?
Can you repeat that actually? Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Like, I feel like there's kind of eras of Kendama, like, that you can kind of group stuff in, you know? Like, juggling was coming out with Dwesty's tricks, and then the start of New Gen with Liad, and then it's kind of hard to define recently, but then obviously way back in the day, like 2016 when it blew up, like, is there a certain era that you really like? Like anything come to mind with that?
Yeah, I would say my favorite era so far definitely has been probably just to watch. I mean, probably 17, 18. Like Liad was really good back then.
Yeah.
So was killing it.
Yeah.
Like I really like the high level like juggles and taps, and like
Yeah.
people were hitting like crazy. Even people back then, like Nick was hitting super crazy lines too. I would say I don't know. Like I've had memorable tricks just watching, and of like different years. Like I just remember tricks that were posted on Instagram, like who was posting. Like I don't know. I'd say 17, 18 though. A lot of people were like a lot of really amazing tricks coming out back then. Like,
It was
some
kind of
really
the peak
crazy.
of new gen. Right?
Yeah, a lot of crazy tricks coming back. Like I feel kids in Romania
Yeah.
were hitting absolutely incredible tricks, and people like I don't even know. Like I mean, like such high level tricks were hitting back then that like people would like struggle with now too. I mean, like there were like some tricks from back then are like still super hard now. You know, so it's like it's really cool, and like I think that like that era of tricks was so nice too, because like I was watching like the best player in the world, at the definitively the best player in the world at the time, like hit like up close. You know, I mean my brother. So it's just like really cool to see him like hit so many different tricks, all the time, and just kind of like just be like, wow, that's so cool. Like seeing like Liad too. Oh my god, Liad is like when I saw Liad in person at 2017 World Cup, I'm like, dude, this guy is actually on a level above.
Yeah.
This guy's a god.
He's. I think it's hard. Like when I say my favorite players, for him watching his IG, I've never seen him in person, but watching his Instagram, I still just love that kid. I love the way that he plays. I can go back and like you see goosebumps. I can go back even now, and just the way he makes it look so easy to do these
It
tricks.
looks so easy.
And I'm just like, yeah, it is that easy. I just go and do this,
funny.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
It almost convinces you.
Yeah,
you really
it
try to
does,
like,
yeah.
dude, this is step one of the street.
I just loved his style so much.
Yeah.
His form, and it just was so much fun. And
Yeah.
I agree, that was my favorite era too.
He literally was doing tricks that were like, that guy was the king of slings. Oh my god, that guy had slings and Ken was like nobody. Like and stilts, he's getting to stilts because I mean. Oh my god, stilts were he was so good at like every trick. Like oh my god, like I remember that guy literally when he came to World Cup in 2017. I was like,
when you were watching him.
I was like, what? 2018. I was like, oh wait, he didn't go to 17. I'm sorry, 18.
It was 18. Yeah, he got third.
When he went to 17. I'm sorry, he went to 17, 18, and 19.
Okay.
Yep, 17, 18, and 19. So in 17 he was really good. He got third. 18 he got
11th.
I don't know what he did, but he did okay. I think I don't really know, but he was so good. Oh my god, dude! I played Ken with him. He challenged me again and Ken, and I was like,
here we go.
I literally no. This is like the quickest ass whooping I ever got.
Really?
Oh my god, it was
So
quickest.
So in terms of being impressive when you're in person and consistent.
No, he was like top level. This guy was hitting tricks on me. I was like,
really?
Like,
can you think of a trick that
he did?
Yeah.
I could probably name two. Yeah, he went. This game ended in 2 minutes. Like I'm not even kidding. I was playing on a setup. First of all, I wanted to say no just because I was on a setup that I was like not confident with.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna land anything. Like, he's gonna snap on my ass. Like, he literally did like his first trick was like some, like I think he quad slinged a bird, and I was like, oh my god. No, he did the spike.
Okay.
He probably could have gone a bird easily. He did that first. He popped it out. He's like, that's my set. I'm like, cool. Definitely gonna hit that right now. Then one of his other tricks was like some stupid shit, and then he did. Oh my god, he did some crazy trick that he proved. I don't know if it was this one, but he proved this one. This is insane. He did triple Ken flip, triple Ken flip, jug triple Ken flip, jug down fast, and then he hit that. I literally was like, fuck, dude,
yeah,
what the fuck, like. I'm talking. This is like 2 minute game. Like he missed once.
Really? Like it was just.
I had like one or two tricks, one or two trick attempts, and he just hit.
And he was probably prepping so hard for KWC where he was just
he was so dialed. Like he was so dialed. He destroyed me. It was crazy. I was like, dude, I was like, dude, literally, fuck you. Dude, like, thanks for making me feel like I actually suck.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I would play in Takuya would be like. Probably.
Yeah.
Just like you literally.
Man, I wonder what happened to Liad. What he's doing.
I think he just lost interest.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people, like nobody played in Israel.
Yeah.
He's looking big into like fitness now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's super.
which is kind of a weird progression of Kendama players these days. Liam and you two.
Oh yeah.
You're just doing pull-ups all of a sudden. Like, one pull-up, they're like, oh my god.
Not that.
No,
Hopefully one day, but yeah, I feel like Liad's probably as tall as you.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy. That guy used to be shorter than me.
Dude, Tibby too, gigantic. He was like he wears those European shorts and his leg is just like super far, like it's like a huge calf muscle, you know?
Yeah, Tiblex is. Wait, how tall do you?
I think he's 6'4". I think he's really tall. Yeah, just a tall little stick.
You think he's 6'4"?
I would just I think
Actually 6'4".
I've asked him. He told me in meters. Should I look it up real quick?
Yeah. You've never searched it before? Like centimeters or meters?
Meters.
Okay.
No. What do they use? Centimeters? No, they use meters, I think.
Okay.
100. No, it would be like 100. 180 is 6 feet, so that's 180.
So centimeters.
Centimeters. Yeah. Dude, he's tall. How tall do you think he would be?
I can't even imagine him being taller than me.
How tall are you?
Like 5'10".
He's taller than you.
Yeah, like how much taller? Because if he like looms over me, I'll be like, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, if I can.
Like no.
Yeah. And then argue about America.
Yeah. He knows way more about America than me.
We talk a lot, actually.
We can't find out as a guy, but
I'd love to find
do you
it.
think
Yes, I found it.
oh yeah, me.
1.85 meters.
That's okay.
I think that's tall. 1.85 meters. It's so funny that I've asked him this before. 2 yards. Let's try it to feet.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's 2 yards. Oh, okay, he's 6 feet. Sorry.
I was gonna say, dude,
Yeah.
that guy's 6'4", then I'm literally.
I thought he was super tall.
6'4", okay.
Okay. Yeah, he's not on my level yet, but.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Liad, I feel like every interview I do an appreciation shout out to Liad because I love that kid. Form. Did you check out the form video that I did with Nick? That I looked at each person's form. They're doing triple tap. Yeah. What did you think about that? Do you have any impressions? I know it was probably a while ago, but
I thought it was cool. I remember you like asking people to do it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I almost did it. And
Yeah.
I just didn't not do
Yeah.
it. But like
Did you get any insights from looking at like the bevel or like the bevel's rotating or the way the Ken is being tapped? Did you?
I noticed. Well, I like how your breakdown of like your breakdown of like when people catch it, like what the height they catch it at.
Yeah.
So that's just something I just don't think about.
Yeah.
I will say though that the one big takeaway I got from the video wasn't about form at all. Well, actually it was. It was with that Tim guy. Dude, that's so.
Such
that guy
an
actually.
interesting way, right?
Do you play with him? Do you play with him or no?
No, I mean I just talked to him at the last event.
Oh, okay, yeah. And that guy literally like, that's unbelievable. He literally looks like he's not gonna do any trick, and he does it. No, like every time.
Did you follow him?
Every time he gets a job, I mean, I've seen some more of his tricks.
Yeah, have you seen recent like he's lacing bangers like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He hit 555.
Yeah, I mean just.
That looked crazy, dude. I love when that guy does these tricks.
Right?
He's like, and the last time and then he goes.
Dude, like it's literally like juggle, and you think he's gonna spike it.
That was way that was already cleaner than that. That was way cleaner.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You gotta like.
But he's waiting. He's going down, and then
no, because he'll literally go like, and then it's like I'm like, whoa,
dude.
Whoa. And then he'll just get it, and then he'll just gets it. So that's really cool that I mean, hey, it works for him, and that's his style, and that's his style. So I mean, it's not like he's. I mean, do whatever. Do whatever's natural for you, because that's just gonna make
I honestly I get an inspiration from that because he is committing to every single tap. Like if I was this low on my first out of 3 taps, I'd be like,
gonna happen,
I'm just like, let's try another one.
Yeah.
But he's just like tap.
Yeah.
And then like, juggle.
Yeah, and his hand placement is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Because he'll literally be like, and I'm like.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I got from that video.
Yeah, it's like, people play like this?
Yeah, literally. I was like, dude, where did you guys find this guy?
Yeah. He's sweating in the corner of every event, just grinding. Yeah. We always joke around. I tell him too. Like, he's like in full, sweatpants, long sleeve shirt. Like, his whole outfit's green for some reason. And he's like in his basement, sweating, grinding, hours and hours every day. He's like Edwin, playing all day.
Yeah.
And I love to see.
I can tell that guy plays a lot.
He's a
too.
grinder.
His progression's fast.
It's so quick. Yeah. But you were doing some kind of late flip trick, and the entire time
I know.
Did he mention this to you?
I know.
Your tama's rotating.
Yeah.
Did you do it on purpose?
No.
Okay. So it's just feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously you're feeling like it's clean because you're like, oh yeah, this feels good.
Yeah.
But you don't actually realize that that's happening.
No. That's
okay.
cool. No, he pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't stop watching this. This is your tama,
Yeah.
dude. This is so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, your tama stays upright. I'm like, oh, I guess it does.
Yeah.
I never once noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I had to guess, that's going to be a change in the future where if Kendama, I mean, obviously more people, it's kind of been steady, I feel like with Kendama, like a steady increase. But if we see like Kendama blow up out of coincidence, I feel like new players are going to be really strict. Like just comparing to other sports like golf and different sports, like you look at every single thing that you do. And so when you learn a trick and you get down the fundamentals, that's the most important time. When you're getting down the muscles like of a golf swing, you want to get everything perfect. And it feels super weird, but then you know once you get used to it, then that's going to be the best ideal form.
Yeah.
And I feel like for Kendama, I know you don't do it on purpose, but like people are going to look at that and see like, okay, this is what I want to do, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. That is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you made the form video, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool, and like, hopefully that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't. Like, if somebody were to ask me, like, how do you do that? I literally don't.
Yeah.
Because everybody has their own. That's the thing about that. It's also cool. It's a cool idea, but the thing about that is like everybody has their own unique style.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, let's take Tim for example.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that guy, like, I mean, I don't know how he started learning juggles, but like he probably watched video. He's a good player,
Yeah.
so he probably watched people do juggles.
Yeah.
And literally nobody looks like that.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah. It's just things that you do.
But
But there's an argument to be made that the top players like this list, for the most part, are looking similar.
Yeah, actually, I would agree.
Yeah, and so then maybe that is the ideal form, you know,
Maybe.
of like, do you spin when you do like a two turn swap down fast? Or
Yeah,
whatever,
definitely.
you spin?
I spin, but like I don't spin on everything.
No,
so
okay.
for me, it's a little different. I mean, I kind of control when I spin stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have full control over it because the thing is like on swap downs, I always want to spin because it's easier for me.
Yeah.
To control, and then
Yeah.
like if I'm on one of my swaps, like I always just drop it.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to to have control and do both because I think
Yeah.
the rolling technique is really useful technique.
Yeah.
But like if you do it on every single thing, when you do 115 swapping or roll the tama, so you have to go like that.
Yeah.
It's not, you can do one trick with that. If you have to roll to do that,
At some point, you have to.
you can't do any birds.
Yeah.
You can't do anything else. Like
Right.
so I think it's really important to know how to do both because I think it makes the tricks easier if you can do both. But like when I do tap, dub tap, like trip tap, juggle, I don't juggle the tama up. I do, but I roll it up, and that's just instinct because I learned tap swap down spikes and I rolled it.
Wait, tap, swap, down spike. Yeah. You roll.
So like airplane tap,
Yeah.
swap down spike. I rolled it. So before I learned tap juggles, so once I started learning tap juggles, I'll just roll it. So
Yeah.
I'm so used to that feeling. And I
So
never
you're saying
left.
tap, juggle, spike. You roll and then you juggle and you move the tama forward.
Yeah.
To spike. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I do that, but I wouldn't say it's like I kind of wish I didn't, just because like I feel like if I just dropped it, I feel like if I juggled it up, I would have more control, like overall control. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can still juggle the birds and off the tap and stuff like in different styles completely fine, but it's just like I feel like optimally for me, dropping it and like having a clean rotation over would work every time. You know, Nick's someone who has.
Does he not do that?
No, Nick does roll on. Nick rolls on everything.
Yeah.
And he has like I think he has the best ball control in the world. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
just straight like because his rotation every single time is the same.
Oh man, I wish I could. I want to be.
'Cause
I want to
like-
film this shit and post it. Like I wish I could like. Maybe we'll do this if you have some time. We'll take some videos. But like,
Yeah, maybe, but like
it's just so yeah. Just
Yeah.
especially to see what we're to know what you're like, do what you're seeing or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
See
right.
what you're doing. Yeah.
yeah, like Nick will like when I roll it off on taps. It's not like a clean roll.
Yeah.
It
It's
kind of
Yeah.
No, Nick's is like a really clean roll, so his rotation, and he's so used to it too.
Yeah.
So his rotation is he's not flipping he's not rotating the ball over. The ball Toma's always at the side, so he kind of just floats it. So his left hand. So the Tama, say the hole's like right here.
Yeah.
The ball's like right here. The Tama always the Tama will always go like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the same rotation every
Right. So
single
do
time.
it. So let's say 1.5, and then juggle the bird, right?
Yeah.
So
his Tama, I'm going. So
if it was your right-handed.
So I'm right-handed, but so the Tama's here,
Rolling, yeah.
and then so I don't do this, but his you see that? So
yeah, but see how I do the exact same thing. So I know exactly what he's talking about. So I usually try to roll it on top, and so then it goes like this. But how does he get it? So he goes like that? Because wouldn't you want it so it?
No, yeah, his will flip like that because
Yeah.
he's still swapping it to where he can catch it. The swap he's doing, it's still down spike material. Like you could down spike it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can just make the Tama go to
Yeah. Okay.
stall. Yeah, that's interesting that you kind of try and literally go like that.
I do. Yeah. I was just doing fish special with the bird,
Yeah.
and I had to really hone in that part and so instead of like if I were to go dub jug swap down, see how sideways that is?
Yeah, yeah.
But then if I wanted to go to bird, I'm really trying to rotate it because then I want as straight as that can be. But it's hard when I'm spinning it, So I was kind of thinking doing something else, but I can also I don't know.
Yeah, when I do that trick, I just float it. It's just like a.
You float it.
I float it.
You don't spin it.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, I just float it, and then I will rotate it one full time around.
So when you do 1.5, where is the bevel? After the 1.5, right when you before the juggle.
That's on the side. It's actually usually just down.
Okay. So as if you were to do a 1.5.
Yeah. See that? Yeah. So it's like a 1.5. Yeah. I just drop it. So it's just
And then you do one more rotation to bird.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, it's looking like just one other turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know what the best way is. I mean, obviously
whatever's comfortable for.
Yeah.
I know one guy in France, and his name's Kendama. You may know him.
Yeah.
He's the only person I know who does this. His ball control's inward.
What do you mean?
So 1.5 jug spike. The Tama takes inward turn.
Whoa!
Just try to do that. Just try to do that because.
Yeah, I can't.
No,
yeah.
you make it you make the Tama go on the juggle to spike. You literally he goes he moves his hand and then actually where it goes like that.
So it's
no, you can't it's hard to even try to do that. With intent, it's really hard.
Yeah,
to do. I've probably done it one time.
But it's just one of those things.
He just does it like this.
Yeah.
And he's juggling
memory,
bird and it's inward earth there, and I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm like, I noticed he did it one time. I'm like, oh, nice save.
Yeah.
Bro, nice save.
Nice save.
I thought about it. I was like, oh, nice save on that one. He did it again. I'm like, okay. He does it again. I'm like, can
wait,
what are you
do it again?
I was like,
yeah.
what are you doing? Okay, are you really? Is that actually you do it? 'Cause that's actually crazy. Nobody who does that. He does that. It works for him. He's a high level player. So,
yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
That's cool.
It's interesting.
What should we talk about?
You wanted to talk about Takuya earlier?
Takuya? Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about Takuya. When did he start playing? I feel like he's relatively new.
He's probably playing for I would
6 years?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
I feel like there's a wave of players, even Tibby's like that. It's not OG.
No, but he's a good amount of years on his belt. It's that he's so young.
Yeah.
That he's played for X amount of time, and he's already 15.
How old is he? You want to say 16?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 probably.
Have you seen him play in person? KWC?
Yeah, I've seen him play in person. He last KFC I went to in person and competed. He finished second in prelims. He was already a good player back then. He was just a little kid.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was for me. I saw his clips and I knew he was really cracked out. I never thought in person he was so good.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't really paying attention to him at the time back then because I knew he was really good. He did really well at World Cup, in the prelims at least. Cause I never was watching him play. I just knew he was really good, and that's all I.
Yeah.
But now, dude, that guy is like like he's so crazy. I mean, I know he's good in person because he's competing on stage at Casablanca. He's doing 10-tap jug spike, sling, jug quad tap jug spike as an ender to it. He's like, it's like 5, 4, and then he just do that, and it's like, oh, like people are usually doing 5, 4, triple J, whirlwind.
Yeah.
He did sling, jug quad tap jug spike. 5, 4. Usually people are just like, all right, thank you.
Yeah,
He's like 5, 4. He's like, all right.
I didn't do this still. Yeah.
He's like, I can fit it.
Yeah. 4 seconds. Oh, I got this. Squat. Yeah.
He's like, you only takes me 2.5. No, but yeah, like that guy is literally doing stuff on stage that literally nobody can do. Like, dude's a 10-tap jug spike on stage just to start it out. He's like,
yeah. I mean, just even taps is one realm. It's just one concept. But, like, I'm trying to, like, think of, like, what makes a good Kendama player good. You know, like, what makes these guys the best. And it's a mix between variety and level, right?
yeah,
Like, obviously, there's players that have stunt fast to jug, like, the best in the world.
Yeah.
But if you don't have anything else, you're not a top player.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you need to have a lot of these concepts, but especially what's attractive right now is new gen stuff, taps, lates, instas, and even KWC of that's what they're looking for.
Oh, yeah,
right?
all the KWC tricks and juggles, which is kind of
Yeah.
controversial. I feel like even this year there weren't that many stalls. And I was
No.
like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
But yeah, I mean, a lot of these top players that you picked, like especially Takuya, it's like they have a variety of tricks, right? You mentioned Goon and you mentioned String, but in terms of their development, the progression in certain concepts is the best, right? So I guess, like, what makes him the best? It's like he's the best, one of the best at taps, I guess you could say the best because he's hit the most, but swaps out to stalls, like hole control, late flips. Like, I guess if someone wanted to be a solid Kendama player, what 5 concepts would they have to, like, progress?
That's tough.
It is really tough.
Because there's some players who are really good at some tricks and just suck at basic stuff.
Yeah.
So that always looks funny to me.
I mean, recently there's been a wave of goon players with string pinches. I don't know if they can do a round stall.
Yeah, no,
but
really.
but they just.
There are some people that eat up Jama Jams that are like good at taps and juggles, but like really struggle in stalls too. So it's just like funny to think about. That's how people are playing nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of makes sense too. Those are the tricks that are kind of like pushed towards the front more often. But I would say the techniques, like, not in any order or anything, but like just like juggles, and then I would say, I don't know, like birds in it. How basic are we talking here? Like, does they become like a foundation? The foundation?
No, like pretty advanced, I think.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. I mean,
like late flips.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would say, well, this is for me coming from a person who can't do like pitches, goons, cloud bounces like proficiently.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will, people.
Yeah.
I do think that I do think players can still be top players without doing those tricks, and there are many players who do that. I would say that you got to be good at stalls. You have to. Like, that's just like, I feel like I say you have to just because like they're so important, and if you can't, oh my god, like if you can't like actually do like a solid like
around
stall line.
When no juggles involved, you're just stalling.
Something's actually wrong. If you can do like high level juggles, you can do that. Like, you gotta spend some time somewhere else. Like, on doing some stall work. I feel like a really good test of skill is like around bird jug bird. Like, how easy can you hit that?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's just like, because if you can do that really easily, I feel like you're advanced. You're definitely at a really good level with like juggling, hole control. I mean, I guess that trick is less about juggling because it's only one juggle, but like hole control, comfortability juggling. You're obviously comfortable. Like, you're efficient with a single juggle, which is good. Consistent with birds, you have to be really good at birds to do that.
But it's kind of funny how like a lot of these concepts of what these best players are really impressive with, it's so much to do with tama control.
Yeah.
Like, if you were just to focus on tama control, how easy would it be then to translate that to triple late flip juggle bird, or like stunt playing fast. Like I'm working on stunt fast right now, and it's like an easy ghost for the Ken. But
Yeah.
the tama has to be
No, the
there.
tama is. I feel like the control for ghost stuff has are completely different.
Yeah.
Because it's.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're not.
But if you have whole control, like.
Yeah, but it's. I still think it's different. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like my console. I don't know like where the. Like I'm just trying to think of how I do it. Ghost stuff. Because like it's just different for me, just because like. How you're controlling the tama isn't the same.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like
compared to
rolling,
yourself.
like juggling it off and then catching on something. You're juggling it, catching it, or you're like you're catching it and then like while the ball's in your hand, you catch it and then like you move it again. It's not the same release as like a juggle. Like it's really not. So yeah, it's different. But like I would say if you have ball control down, it's probably a little easier for you because you're used to spotting the hole and like kind of like knowing what to do with it. Whereas if you're not proficient at ball control already, you would probably look at it and you're probably like no rhyme or reason of what to do afterwards. Like nothing to guide you in your mind. Yeah. You're not taking inputs from what you see and like applying them to your next move. You're kind of just like hoping to God. You don't have like some grasp of time control. So,
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Other than that, time control is really important. Yeah. I mean, stilts are really important. Yeah. Just because I do them a lot. But, so that's a bias. But like, I don't know. Like, come on top there. Like taps. Yeah, juggle. Taps and juggles. Those are two separate things. Taps and juggles, obviously. Like, late flips are pretty. Like, I would say those are important. But like, it's not like you need to be doing like quad to like spike to become a hot top player. You know, I think just like some proficiency in late flips is nice. Although I did do freestyle and did do pretty well, literally not doing a single pin flip. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling I just wasn't feeling like doing them, I guess. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like it's so hard because like I feel like a top level player like you can kind of their comfortability with Kendamas, so they look different than people playing Kendama. Like I don't know, like their comfortability doing these tricks when they like do like a juggle line and stuff, you can kind of just tell they're top level just because of their comfortability and what they're doing out of it. I don't know, it was using multi-time control or something. It's hard for me to say like the foundation, like what a player like needs to have because like players just are like progressing in totally different ways and you know, players like Casey Henson been playing for like no time at all and he's actually just really good. So like so more like you know. So
yeah, my brother was just asking me because my brother's like probably like advanced level, like hitting triple Liad KEN flips, juggle spike.
Your brother's doing this.
What?
Your brother's doing this?
Yeah. Matt?
Yeah. Wait, does he go to events?
Yeah, he went to the last one, but other than that, he just kind of plays in his room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll show you him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's younger than me. Yeah, and he like when I first got my Kendama in 2015, I got two of them, one for him, and he never picked it up because he thought it was too cool. And I'm like a little dork, so I'm like, I fucking play.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of went on and off, and then recently he's just been on the grind. So he's hitting like good tricks, yeah. Like especially recently, he's been really impressing me. You know,
dope.
Super dope.
That's really sick.
Yeah. But he asked me. He's like, he was really motivated after battle, and he wants to be really solid. I guess it's kind of like, what does that mean? Being really good. You know, if you define that, like, is it being good in general, or is it like you're saying, or being like the best that I can be? Because he's like saying like, should I just grind one really hard concept? Or should I just kind of like go for an all-around ability? And I've thought about this too. It's like in terms of like my all-around ability, like in terms of like new gen tricks with taps and late flips, I'm never ever going to catch up to the top, right? But if I do hone a certain, maybe a newer trick like a goon, or maybe even an older trick like swapping stalls between tama and Ken without juggling, like I could be a top player in that if I really hone it for a year, you know? So it's like, I think some players, like my brother and me sometimes, and then I think the community too, kind of wonders like what they should go for, you know? Mm-hmm. Of course it's up to them, but I want to know what you think about that.
That is tough. I mean, it's like, what I was thinking about that when you were saying that was, my friends Max and Zahir, they've asked me, and they've asked Nick too, like, what should I work on?
Yeah, that's a question. Yeah.
You know, and I think as long as you have someone like a lot better than you that you're asking like in terms of your brother and you, like it's really nice that he has you because you can give him some sound advice,
Yeah.
like based on your experiences and your like experiences playing, experiences like seeing other what pros are doing at different events and stuff, and like what other people are doing, and what you like, and kind of pass it on to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I for me to give that advice is hard, but like I think what I told like Max and Sahir is something around the lines of like, because what's important, like what I think is important to give the advice of is like offering, like I would offer like my, if I had to say anything, I would definitely offer my like opinion on what I think a good Kendama player can do, but I would also say like, well, this is just my opinion. Also like not every player plays the same. The last thing I want to do is like tell you to do this trick.
Yeah.
You don't like doing it, but you think that you need to do it because I said so, and because I am, you know, at a certain level in Kendama that they have, that Max and Sierra haven't reached yet. So I think what I told them was kind of like yeah, you can like do this trick, but like you can do this trick, but like also just do tricks that are like fun for you.
Yeah.
And like do tricks that are fun for you, and do tricks that like you think like you that look fun to you, that like appeal to you online, so you can try them out and see if they're actually fun for you, like when you're trying them yourself, like because it's you're gonna get good at Kendama if you keep playing. This is going back to what I said, but the only way you keep being better at Kendama you play, and like if you try so much on like a trick that like you just don't like, you're probably just gonna lose interest in Kendama, and like I don't know, like you're just not gonna. And if that's a trick that a player thinks they need to have to like improve, and they're not gonna, they're just not having fun with it, and just like I don't know, just like don't.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna be like, well, I'm not made for it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop.
So I think maybe the important thing is that have fun.
Yeah, just have fun.
First part is have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah.
And that's how you're gonna have your interest. You know, that's gonna maintain your interest level, and like you can go from there and go from there and how decide what tricks you want to do and stuff, and off that, like each player is gonna have their own inspirations on what tricks to do, what tricks to get good at. Like Max is a player who's has been inspired to do a lot of stalls. I think he's been inspired to do that because he's played with Nick and I a lot. So
he just goes after that.
So I think he's taking a lot of inspiration after that. Now he's kind of into tricks that he definitely found tricks that he himself has liked through inspiration through others. You know, has thrown that into, and like obviously like nobody can hit every base at the same time in terms of trick style and trick variety, but everybody moves through those bases at their own pace and stuff, and based on their own interest level and doing tricks. And some tricks aren't fun for people, and some to like I don't know, like be really good. Sometimes you got to conquer that, like, oh, I hate this, but some people just don't have that or don't want to do that. So just
I really like going back to what you said about how you sesh every day, and I think it kind of motivated me to just kind of appreciate just my usual flow and not be so afraid of doing the same things. But in terms of answering that question as well, to put out an answer to the community is like, just go, like what Zach does is like, do what you're good at for a few minutes, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, like just flow, like freestyle flow, like, and then that might give you an answer of what you want to work on, which is kind of what you do every day, right? Your daily sesh is like, you're like, oh wait, I kind of want to hit that line to stump plane, so let me just work on the stump planes.
Yeah, I'll just throw in like a tiny variation of something like I don't do that often, or like and then you can decide, like a player can decide for themselves if that flow isn't working for them, or it's kind of boring. That happened to me in summer. That's happened to me a couple times in my career playing Kendamas, where like I had the flow and I'm like, okay, that now is really telling me like work on something completely new. Yeah. And then then you'll come and go, and then you might find the old flow like you used to do, and just like fun again, and you just do that, and you're still progressing. You still get better. The tricks you're already good at, which is great, and like you're getting good at different variations of these tricks, and then you might find yourself trying something new and not really deeming it as new, but it is pretty new. It's you, So just I think fun is the number one thing, and spicing it up every now and then is definitely important too. And as long as you keep it interesting, like you'll never get bored. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Last question. Last topic. What in your mind do you have for yourself in terms of the future, in terms of Kendama goals? What do you think?
I like this question, and my one goal in Kendama is I don't have any specific goals like win KWC, win this event, win X, win X, nothing like that. My goal is just to be like a high level player for a long time.
Yeah.
Just like to be be able to compete at a high level and be able to, like a highly skilled player for as long as possible.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing that I've realized about myself and that I think I've done a good job at is this. I feel like I've been able to compete at a high level for a long time. And, I haven't won a ton. I've gotten second, third like a million times.
Yeah.
What I feel like is like it's so many times. So I'm still doing it. And to be honest with you, like after an NAKO, I left that event and I was like, and I feel like I'm like I left feeling really skilled, and then I go into this event. I was like, oh man, like I haven't been playing Kendama as much as I was leading up to the NAKO. I wonder how this is gonna go. I did better about the border than NAKO. Just like in terms of like how I was playing and competing, and so I was like even after about the border, I was like, still hitting it. So like I just want to be like a high level player for a long time and see where that takes me because I feel like I've been doing a good job of that so far, and I hope I can continue to do that for as long as possible.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, great conversation with Zach. I don't know how long we went for, but it was a long time.
It's only 2 hours.
2 hours, nice. Yeah. Not Joe Rogan's level yet, but that's 3 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That went by really fast though.
Yeah.
When we took a break, I looked at the clock and like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's been an hour 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour, yeah. So,
all right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Zach Gallagher.
Thank
See you next time. Yeah.
See you guys.
All right.